Wow, and I'm live finally. Hello, everyone. Wow, wow, wow. I feel like it's my birthday today. Yes, you're welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is the 29th of October 2020, and it's officially time for the first ever Living My Truth virtual summit. Um, Interestingly, I've been doing a lot of lives. Yes, I'm a media personality. I speak in front of people. I MC events. But today, it seems like I'm kind of nervous. I've got butterflies in my tummy, and I'm super duper excited. I'm happy. I'm happy, honestly. If you can hear me, let me know that you can hear me. Drop it in the comment section. Let me know that you can hear me. I'm streaming live via Facebook and YouTube. Oh, yes. A lot of things that could go wrong tried to go wrong. You know how it can be now. But thank God for his mercies. Thank God for his goodness. I'm super glad to have you here. If you can hear me, please drop a comment in a thumbs up or anything. Just drop it in the comment section. Let me know that you can hear me, okay? So that I will be able to know what's up and what's going on. Okay? All right. So, thank you so much to all that are joining me. It's the first ever edition of the Living My Truth Virtual Summit. Like I said, it seems like it's my birthday. Oh, yes, you can hear me. Thank you so much, Toya. I appreciate it. My name is Bimbo Olasokwe. For the benefit of those that don't know me, some people know me as Auntie Bimbo, some people know me as La Bims. Okay, yes, Auntie Bimbo came about because I'm a media personality and I do a show on radio for children and families. And of course, in Nigeria, Auntie, Auntie, Auntie. So that's where the Auntie Bimbo came from. Then some people also know me as La Bims. That's my nickname. And that's also the name of my business, La Bims Global Resources. So, Living My Truth Virtual Summit. It's like a dream come through. All right, come true, come through, come. I'm excited. Can you tell? Okay, let me calm down. Calm down, calm down, calm down. All right. Now, Living My Truth actually started it started as a series. It started in the month of May, precisely. And the reason why it came about, let me just quickly give you a brief rundown, was because um end of March, someone reached out to me on Facebook. She's a friend, someone I know very well. Well, I know her on Facebook. Not that we're so close, but I know her on Facebook. So she reached out to me and she was like, "Oh, Auntie, but please, I need to talk to you." Blah blah blah. I said, "Okay, what's wrong?" And she told me, she said, she's been a single mom for I think about 2 years or so, and that she's struggling with sexual thoughts. That she wants to have sex. That there's nobody that she can talk to about this, but that because of she knows how I am and all of that, that she feels that she can share her thoughts with me. So she was like, she wants to have sex and she's feeling bad. She's feeling like she's a sinner, and all of that. And I had to calm her down. And she was asking me that, Bimbo, how do you cope? Now, I was in a 7-year marriage. Yeah. I left my marriage after 7 years due to domestic violence. I've been single for 11 years, like separated for 11 years, finally divorced, you know. So that was why she was asking me. And she asked me and she was like, she feels terrible. She feels like God will strike her dead because she wants to have sex. And I told her, I said, Madam, sex is real, sex is a good thing. We all have those feelings. There is no how, I mean, God is the one that gave us those feelings. So I had to explain to her why it is very valid and okay for you to feel like having sex. I mean, it's there. You know, the worst thing, if you've never had it before, it's better. But if you've tasted it, and if it was sweet, if it was nice, if it was, you know what I mean, you will miss it, definitely. So you shouldn't feel bad if you have those urges and you're not married, or you were married before. That's always the terrible one. You were married before, you were having constant regular sex, and suddenly you go to not having it. So I had to put her through and all that. And then after I had that discussion with her, when I was just praying in my house, something just said to me that, look, you need to put that up and let people know. This is not the first time people are coming to meet you to ask you about how you're coping as a single mom, how you're coping with life and all of those things. You need to let more people know about it. And I heard it expressly that, look, I didn't allow you go through those terrible things in your life, those terrible challenges just for you. I allowed you go through it so that you can help other people. I was like, oh, but well, I love to write. So I started the series. So every Friday on Facebook, Instagram, I came up with Living My Truth series, where every Friday I'll write something about what I've gone through, a challenge I went through, in the course of my years, and how I've been able to cope. Now, I tell so many people, I said, as far back as, no, not even far back, as close as 2011, I was in abject poverty. And I'm talking poverty such that 200, 300 naira was a big deal. It seemed like a huge amount to me. Now, this is me. I was a banker for 10 years, all right? And as at the time I was leaving the bank, I was already close to a managerial position. So I was earning fat, I was earning well, I was living well. I had all the jewelry, I was traveling, designers and all of that. And I went from 100 to zero, in a like in a split second. I couldn't believe it myself. So I had to struggle through pain, through tears, through, through humbling myself. I had to start from scratch, from zero level, as in the most menial of jobs. I had to start doing it. There was me that was a banker, that was a big girl, so to speak. I had to go back to ground zero. Do you understand? And from there, I went through different things. And here I am today. I'm not a billionaire yet. I'm not Dangote yet. But honestly, I'm far away from where I started from. And it was a process. I went through so many things. So that's how Living My Truth started. And since May, like I said, I'm always writing different things I've gone through. When I put it up, people send messages to me. Oh, what you wrote today resonated with me. Oh, I'm going through this. I'm so glad it's not only me. I'll try this, and all of that. Now, the virtual summit, I decided, hey, Bimbo, it's not only you that is going through all this. So many people are going through this. Some people are just not vocal enough. They're not bold enough to come out to say it. Even me, that I'm a media personality, I speak on radio, I speak everywhere. I'm very, very I'm very vivacious. I'm very, very always, popping and all of that. I was going to start, don't disturb my life. I was going to start this and I was a bit nervous. So the truth is, you can never, speaking in public is actually a big deal. In fact, according to research, speaking is one of the things that some people will prefer you put a gun to their head than for them to speak in public. So it's actually not easy. Now, coming out to now speak about, things you've gone through, especially terrible things or challenges or things that you feel like, nobody should know about me. I mean, we live in the world where, especially in Africa, where everybody likes to hide. Everybody likes to pretend as if all is well, as if all is always well. Now you see me here, I have my wig on, I have my glasses, I'm looking fine and everything. If you had seen me a few minutes ago, you'd have been like, no, this is not the person that wants to do this summit. So a lot of us are used to sugarcoating. A lot of us are used to putting up facades. A lot of us are used to hiding behind the truth. And that is what Living My Truth is all about. This virtual summit is bringing on 6 amazing speakers from different walks of life. I made sure that I looked for different people. I have a comedian coming up. I have an actor and a director coming up. I have a speaker. I have someone that used to be in the engineering field. And, he has made a switch to writing and doing online, which is what everybody is doing now. I have someone that is a cancer survivor. She had cancer and she's gone on to become an advocate. So I brought people from different walks of life. I have someone that is a single dad. That one is the session I'm really looking forward to, because a lot of times they always go single mom, single mom, single mom. There are single dads as well, and they have feelings too, and their feelings are also very valid. So I have a single dad that'll be talking to us. So, I just cut across different people like that to come together to ensure that we get this thing right. You hear from them, from their different perspectives, and of course you ensure that you realize that you're not alone in this journey. That is basically what this summit is about, to let you know that you are not alone in this journey. Other people have passed through that Red Sea, so you can pass through as well. And they always say experience is the best teacher, but guess what? It doesn't have to be your experience. It can actually be someone else's experience. It can be, yes, you can use someone else's experience to leverage on someone else's experience, so you don't have to go through that hard road. Do you understand? So that is why we are doing this. My first speaker is actually Emeka Nobis. Where is Emeka? Oh, okay. That's why I have my phone here. So pardon me, let me just look down, because the way this technology things, and then let me just tell you before you start thinking, she has it all together. I don't have it all together. This is my first ever virtual summit. I've never done it before. All right. I actually learned from John Obidi, and this, I just said, let me just try. So I'm going to improve as I go along. So you might see me trying to, Please click. I'm sending to Emeka to click. Hello, thank you. I'm going to bring Emeka Nobis on in a bit. So I'm sending him the message. I sent him the link before, but I'm reminding him to come up now because his session is supposed to start by 1:15. And yeah, so Tony Akinlade says, your story is someone else's survival guide. That's the simple truth. A few days ago, I put up a video by the popular Les Brown. Les Brown is a big-time motivational speaker in the US. You know, even went in for politics at the time. Very, very popular guy. And he said, look, your story is someone else's survival guide. So you don't have to go through those terrible moments yourself. Okay. All right. Hello. Thank you so much. I can see your comments. Thank you. So like I said, I'm always very real. I don't hide. I don't sugarcoat. I used to do that. And I realized that honestly, we always try to live up to a standard, to someone else's standard. Please, who sets that standard? It's very important that you do things that you are comfortable with, as long as you are not harming or hurting the next person, okay? All right, so I'm waiting for Emeka to join me. I'm waiting for Emeka to join. And another thing, Nigerians, people like last minute. If you know the sudden barrage of registrations I got within like 20 minutes, if I've not been able to respond to all of them, because I was like, man, I have to go on. I've been putting up information about this event for the past like 3 weeks now. Every day. It's only that week of the NSAS I stopped, and I put it up there regularly. Now people are now sending me messages at the last minute. Please, I want to register, which was why I added Facebook as a backup. It was meant to just be a YouTube live and a private YouTube live where I'll just send a private link. But at this bit, all of this, I decided to just add Facebook so that all those that are around can see it. But let me just tell you, after each speaker, I am going to padlock their sessions. So, all right, yes, I can see Emeka Nobis. Emeka Nobis is trying to join us. So my next speaker is actually Emeka Nobis. Now, interestingly, Emeka, I will add you in a bit. Just hold on. Can you hear me, Emeka? Okay, it seems like Emeka cannot hear me yet. All right, Emeka, can you hear me? Emeka Nobis, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me too?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, fantastic.
Oh, good,
You're welcome,
good.
Emeka. Let me quickly just introduce you first. I can see you. I can hear you. Although it's not too clear, but I can see you. I can hear you. Please, if you can see Emeka Nobis, can you drop it in the comment section? Let me know if you can see Emeka Nobis. Oh, Opayemi, all the way from Ghana. You see why online is good. Emeka, it's not too clear. It's not too clear though.
Yeah, please, but I'm using my I'm using my high definition camera, so I don't know. That's the best I can use. Can you see me right now? Can you guys see?
I can see you. It's just a little bit grainy, that's all. All right, guys, can you see Emeka? Can you see Emeka clear? Okay, people said they can see and hear you clearly. That's fine. Now, let me introduce Emeka Nobis to you in my own way. You know the funny thing, I sent out a message to all my speakers and I was like, you guys should send me your profiles and all that. But when I was going to post up about them, I decided to talk about them in the way I know them. Thank you, guys. They said they can see you, Emeka. Fantastic. You know, in the way I know him. Now, I came across, funny enough, I came across Emeka's page about 5 years ago. You might not remember this. Somebody wrote something, somebody shared something he wrote, and I saw it and I said, this Emeka Nobis that I'm always seeing everywhere. And I sent a message. I wrote in his comment section, I said, you that your friends list, I heard that is always very full. You'll be able to accept somebody like us, you know. And the next thing, he just sends a friend request, and I just ran and I just clicked. And the reason why I did that was because at that point in my life, I was in the evolving stage. I was evolving into, I just started speaking like, you know, on radio and all that. And I wanted to evolve into online, you know, speaking online and showing up. And I used to see Emeka show up a lot. And then because I love writing, I've been battling with, even this living my trip, people have been saying, but write a book. So I've been battling with trying to write something, you know, that I can push out to the public. And if you're looking for somebody that writes like, as in that writes like fire, that's PhD writing, is Emeka Nobis. So I had to become his friend that way. I had to reach out like that, stylishly. And, you know, I came on his friends list and all that. And the truth is, over the years, anything he puts out, I'm always reading. I'm a voracious reader of anything he brings out. Then a few months ago, he wrote a story, and I came to realize that he used to work, he was an engineer for 10 years, which sounded like my own story. I was a banker for 10 years and then I resigned and then I jumped into nothing. I didn't know what I wanted to do and I was now swimming for survival. But Emeka's story said something. Emeka said before he left that lucrative, juicy engineering work, he actually had a pre-plan. He planned it ahead. Okay. And that is why I decided to bring him on. I mean, this is someone that left a 10-year career and switched into something totally different. Engineering, speaking, writing are different things. But he has now become a master in all things. He has become a master in writing, become a master in speaking. And then the last one, guess what? Become a master in making money. It has stopped my own soul. Which is what we should all aspire to be, because we all have these things in us. But a lot of times we're always, shy, or we always feel like the other people that are doing it have something special. So Emeka is here to break it all down. He's going to be speaking on his topic is actually how to switch career paths. So Emeka, are you ready?
Yes, I'm here. Actually, thank you for that fantastic introduction. And I'm just here to be able to share from my own experiences. A lot of individuals, because you said I was going to come here to break the roof. I'm not breaking any roof whatsoever. I'm just here to share from the depth of my experience, my personal life, and the things that I've been able to do. And when you talk about switching careers, I'm not here to share with you everything that you have to do to be able to switch your careers. You talked about how to do that, issues of fear and all that kind of stuff. And that's what I'm exactly here to do, to share with you from the depth of my heart, as sincerely, as authentically as possible, what I did to be able to switch my own careers, right? So thank you very much. I popularly call you Labeams, and I'm very glad to be here to share with the audience what I did, all right? So you said it. I studied mechanical engineering at Federal University of Technology, Owerri. I got it in 1998 and I graduated in 2003. And by 2004, I had done my convocation, and then I proceeded on the compulsory NYSC in 2005, where, as usual, I served for 1 year. And then I got a job with Saipem Contracting Nigeria Limited. The company is a known leading company when it comes to EPIC turnkey project. What we mean by EPIC is engineering, procurement, installation, and commissioning. So I was responsible for building teams, for working with teams that were responsible for building offshore models, what we call offshore models. I'll give you a typical example. Those things that you see when you watch the news and when you watch certain documentaries, those kinds of metallic structures that you see on the sea that oil companies use for oil extraction and for production. Those were the kind of things that we were building at the time. And so I did that for 10 years. I was trained abroad. After my youth service, when I got the job, actually, I was sent abroad and I was trained on how to manage people, how to work with teams, and how to utilize human resources and non-human resources to be able to build those things. And I did it for 1 year. For 10 years, but there was something that happened along the line. While I was still abroad doing the training, I began to have this inkling in my heart that I was made for more, right? I was made for more, because that job was all about me going to work in the morning, as early as 6:30 in the morning, being on site for 10 hours in the day, and going back home at around 6 p.m. to my family. But while I was there abroad, I had this voice that said to me that I have hands to write, and then I have a voice to speak, and that I should use it to bless humanity. I've come to share with individuals that I think it was a spiritual something. I don't know how else to describe it or to define it, but that was the voice that I got, the voice that was telling me that I have hands to write and the voice to speak. Actually, I have been writing since I was 14. I knew that I had the gift of writing. And so I was writing, little things as a child. And then I got into secondary school. I started winning competitions. And then in university, I was also winning competitions. But I didn't really take it professional. But when I heard that voice in 2010, I remember I got that job in 2006. And I was sent abroad in 2006. I spent 1 year abroad and got back 2007. And then in 2008, that was when the voice became quite out. And then I decided to start using my I started to write things that had to do with work-life balance, the issues that my colleagues were having at work, even my subordinates and those who are above me, the issues that they were having at work. I was writing about those things, about employee productivity, employee happiness, employee mental health, though I didn't see the mental health at the time. And people began to read my pieces. My colleagues began to read my pieces, and they were really joyful. No, they felt joyful about reading my pieces because those things were helping them to be able to live their own lives. And so that was when I was making up my mind to leave paid employment, to leave where I was, and to be in the world, to be able to go around the world, right? Yeah, I've not gone to so many countries in the world, but I just call it world because I had to leave that environment to be able to be of a greater use to people on earth, people that I could connect with, those who could, based on my own journey, to experience their own transformation in their own lives. I knew I was going to do it, but I wasn't going to do it within the cubicle where I was going to work on a daily basis. I wasn't going to do it within that cubicle. So I decided I was going to switch my careers and decided I was going to resign to focus on the path fully. It took me 2 years. It took me 5 years to make that plan. So I got that job in 2006, but I resigned in 2016. But my epiphany started out in 2010 when it became so, it was impressing upon me to do something bigger, to leave out something more expansive, to do something that could touch a whole lot more lives, more than what I was doing as a job at the time. And this is not to say that having a job is wrong. It's not wrong. I see a lot of individuals say this thing about this. They are so demeaning, they're so condescending when they talk about other people's jobs. Having a job is fantastic, but I couldn't do what I was supposed to do. I couldn't do this that I'm supposed to do. I'm doing right now just by being on that job. It was a little limiting because I couldn't travel when I needed to travel. I couldn't do what I needed to do. So I knew that resigning and building a company was the best way to go. But to do that, I had to go through a plan, right? And so I decided to put for myself a 5-year plan to be able to leave and to focus on what it is that I'm doing right now. All right. So eventually I resigned in 2016, but my plan started out 2010, and which is what a lot of individuals don't do. So they wake up and they decide they want to resign, but there's no plan. All right. While I'm here living my truth, and while I'm on this summit to speak to you because I'm living my truth, I'm focusing keenly on the plan, the process part that I took to be able to get to where I wanted to get to in 2016 and building what I'm building currently right now. The first thing I'm going to be sharing with you is building faith and confidence in yourself. All right. One of the things that you will face, and which I think is what a lot of us will face, is fear. All right. I'm not saying everybody will, but one thing that you're going to face is fear. You're going to face overwhelming fear if you want to switch your career path. So I'm sharing with you how because my career path now is entrepreneurship. So it could be that you're leaving one job to the other, or you're leaving one career path to another career path. Actually, leaving engineering to focusing on business consulting, which is what I do now, is a switching career path. My company is called Switch Path, and it's an embodiment of that journey, that fearlessness, that courage to be able to leave one career path and build in another career path, right? So fear will be one thing that you're going to face. But how do you overcome fear? Is by building faith in yourself and confidence in yourself. Trust me, I fought with fear for 1 year, 1 full year, to be able to overcome fear of being able to leave. You know, a lot of things were happening at the time. My colleagues, when I told them that I was going to eventually resign, many of them, began to fill me with fearful words. They began to tell me who will take care of my family, how was I going to be able to make money, because working in an oil servicing company, salaries were coming every month consistently without being owed. So people were telling me, how was I going to be able to take care of my family? How was I going to be able to deal with making money every month? How was I going to be able to deal with the health plans that were given at the time? And imagine falling sick and all you needed to do was to go and lie down in a company hospital you'll be taken care of. Who will be able to deal with all those things? And so my colleagues were all feeding me with fear. Some of them were even telling me that I wasn't going to do that, that I was only blabbing with my mouth, right? What did I do to be able to instill, to overcome fear, instill confidence in myself? A cocktail of many things. So I'm not going to tell you just do one thing. I'm going to tell you to do a cocktail of many things. So what did I do? Number one is speaking to myself, right? Telling myself that I had what it took to be a blessing to the world. So I looked at myself, I looked at all my abilities, I looked at my ability to speak, I looked at my ability to write, and I kept on speaking to myself, what people call affirmations. Kept telling myself, Emeka, you are good, you are great, you're a fantastic guy. What you have can be a blessing to people. You can touch people's lives. Those affirmations, all right? I kept to myself consistently, all right? Making those affirmations to myself and speaking consistently to myself that I was great, I was a great guy. You can tell yourself that you're also beautiful, you're handsome, people need you, you've got great things inside of you. Those are the things that you can keep telling yourself and you keep building faith with, because the journey starts with you first and foremost. Before other individuals come to join you on the journey, you've got to be able to tell yourself that you are able, confident, and competent to be able to be a blessing to people on that career path that you have chosen to go on, all right? So I know that many of us here are deeply religious and deeply spiritual people. Prayer is also one of them. So I kept on praying, all right, because the Bible says something that He has not given us the spirit of fear, but has given us a spirit of love and of a sound mind, right? So it's not about the spirit of fear. It was about, but you need to understand something, that as every human being, you're a human being. Every one of us will experience fear from time to time. No matter how gifted you are, no matter how anointed you think you are, the Bible is filled with a lot of individuals who are great, but they experience fear from time to time. Even right now that I'm doing what I'm doing, I wake up certain days filled with fear. That's the truth. Fear of what is going to happen tomorrow, fear of how to make money, fear of how I'm going to create what I'm going to create, fear of what products to create that people will accept and buy. The fears are always there, because we are humans and we're living in a fallen world. That's the truth. So prayer is also one way to be able to overcome the fear. And that's why sometimes when I look at what is happening in Pentecostal circles, sometimes I look at certain things that I deem foolish as a result of how they are being done in the Pentecostal circles. But then on the other side, I look at it as people are doing these things because they want to build in faith in themselves. And so they speak in tongues, and so they do all the things that they do, because they want to build faith in themselves, in their abilities to be able to deliver, right? So prayer is one of them. Prayer is one of them. You may decide to, whatever way you want to, do it by yourself. For me, I'm not that kind of loud guy when it is that I pray, but I pray. All right. So I do what I call conversational prayer. So most of the time in the morning, I wake up in the morning and I'm sitting on my toilet seat and I'm speaking to God as if I'm speaking to a friend. I'm like, oh, man, God, today, oh man, things are happening today. What do you expect me to do? How do I do this? What should I do? And then I sit down on that seat, even though He may not talk back, but the joy that I've been able to express to someone who's divine, someone who has greater power than I am, fills me with the confidence to be able to face the day. All right. So as I said, it could be a cocktail of many things. There was something that happened to me when I eventually resigned from my job. Right. So I went to the city of Lagos, and then I was going to the mall, to the shopping mall in Ikeja. All right. And then there was this girl in a car, brand new car, and she was passing. That was the time that the petroleum prices had increased. People were buying petrol for a higher amount. And so this particular girl was sitting at the back, and the car passed in front of me. That car had no sound, so to say. The car just went like that and passed, And so I drew back and I began to ask myself, people are clamoring all over the nation that the price has increased, the petrol pump price has increased. But here was this lady in this car, and I'm not thinking that this girl is thinking about about the problems in the nation. But she's sitting at the back of her car, enjoying the ride, and then she passed. And so when I crossed her, I began to have conversations with myself. I climbed to the top of the shopping mall, And then I sat down and I wanted to eat actually. And so when they brought the food to me, all right, they brought the menu to me, I looked at the menu and the prices were quite ridiculous to me. All right. And I looked at the menu, the prices were so high, something that I knew that I couldn't afford. But I saw a bottle of wine for 100,000 naira on that menu. And I looked across and I saw some young boys over there, right? And they were there on the table were this same 2 bottles of the same wine on the table, and they were enjoying the wine. And that means that they had spent 200,000 naira to buy those 2 bottles of wine. And I had said to myself, I was having this conversation with myself. I said to myself, no matter what it is that is happening in the nation, people will always enjoy themselves. And Emeka, so what should you do? What you should do is to be able to create something that people will consistently keep buying, and then you'll be making money for yourself. That's exactly how it is. So I looked at the shopping mall and I saw lots of individuals walking in back and forth. All right. They're walking in back and forth. That was the Ikeja City Mall, walking back and forth, buying things, holding their bags and all that. And I said to myself, even in the midst of the depression, even in the midst of the recession, people will keep buying things. What should you do? What you should do is to create that thing that they will buy, and then they will exchange their monies with you. And then you're able to live the life that you desire. All right. So conversations with yourself can help you to instill confidence in your ability to do great things, and it will help you to consistently keep the fear caged. It doesn't mean you're not going to experience fear, because I see a lot of individuals denying themselves from being human. Feeling the feelings of fear is because you're human. So if you keep denying it that you're not feeling fear, sometimes you're putting yourself into a depressive mood. Appreciate the fact that you're human. Appreciate the fact that you feel fear, and then do what you can do to be able to cage the fear so that you can override and do the things that you ought to do. So I said prayer, as I said, speaking to yourself, having conversations with yourself, and then doing affirmations. These are the things that can help you deal with the emotions of fear, of depression, of being scared, to be able to switch. Will it be automatic? No. It's a continuous process of speaking to yourself, doing all the things, and being able to see that you cage the fear to be able to climb high. All right. The next thing that I did was to bring my spouse into unity with my mission, because at the time I had already gotten married. All right. That was 2016. I had gotten married. I got married in 2010. And by 2016, I already had 2 kids. Right. And so my wife had already heard, then was my girlfriend. She was hearing me talk about climbing to the apex of engineering, becoming NSE registered, becoming Korean registered. These are bodies that give you the authority to practice as an engineer. And then I got that job in Saipem, and I was being groomed to become the first indigenous construction manager in the company. And then I come to tell my wife, honey, I'm leaving this job. Imagine how it felt. Imagine being in a relationship with a guy that was collecting salaries every month consistently without fail, to the point that you can easily tell someone, oh boy, my salary is going to come on so and so. They come and collect your money. And for 10 years, Saipem did not owe me one day. Saipem did not miss paying me as I went due. So imagine leaving that kind of environment and going into an environment where I wasn't going to be seeing salaries as at when due. My wife was a little bit put off by that, because I had been preaching to her while we were dating that I was going to climb to the top of the ladder in mechanical engineering. And so it wasn't difficult. It wasn't easy for her to swallow. And this is what I see a lot of individuals do. So they tell their wives, hey, or they tell their husbands, I'm going to do this, and you don't have any say about it. I'm going to do it and all that. But this is someone who is emotionally invested in me because she's my spouse. Not even my parents, not even my father or my mom or friends, but this was my spouse, someone who I sleep with on the same bed, someone who knows me in and out, somebody who is in tune with my fears and my aspirations. So I had to bring her into unity with my mission. So what did I do at the time? It wasn't just to tell her by mouth that I was going to resign from my job. She needed to see evidence that the new path was going to help us. She needed to see evidence that the new path was going to be profitable. And so in addition to telling her that we were going to survive, I began to go for engagements, all right? Because part of what I do is to speak at events. So I go to engagements, I get money. So from speaking for free, I began to get packs of Five Alive. So I'll go to speak at an event, they will give me Five Alive, they will give me buns, they will give me meat pie. I'll come back and I'll show to my wife, they've given me meat pie, they've given me Five Alive and all that. Then from there, I began to speak for a fee. So people began to pay me 5,000, 10,000. I remember how she bought fully into my mission, right? I had gone to speak at an event and I was paid 50,000 naira for 45 minutes. I came back, showed her, because they paid me and they gave me that money in a brown envelope. So I came back, showed her the brown envelope, opened it, and I asked her to take 25,000 naira from me for Dash. And so she took out the money, counted 25,000 naira. That was the day she said to me, "This your ministry is profitable. It's going to work. I give you the permission, do whatever it is that you want to do." That was how she bought into my mission, because I showed her evidence that we were going to survive. So you've got to be able to know that your spouses or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, whoever they may be, that are emotionally connected to you must be brought into unity with your mission. They are the ones who are going to support you, because you get a lot of individuals who are going to be telling you that you're crazy, you're stupid for making a career switch. So you're the one that I call them emotional anchors. These are the individuals that can support you when the going is wrong, when the going is rough, sorry, not wrong, when the going is rough. And so bringing your beloved one, the one that you call an anchor, the one whose decisions matter in your life, bringing them into unity with your future mission is the way to go. It's one way to make that switching profitable, to make that switching smooth. The next thing I'm going to be speaking about today is studying, because I'm speaking from the point of switching from what I used to do to entrepreneurship, studying the business opportunity. So at the time that I wanted to leave the job to start running the business, I didn't want to go blindly. I needed to understand what was happening in the industry that I was going to step into. All right. So I began to study. I began to attend seminars. I went to business school. I began to listen to masterminds. I began to listen to people who were doing great in the industry already, to study them, to see what they were doing. And then they said to me, do this. They said to me, one of the ways to do this, which is the next point that I'm going to share with you, is to expose yourself. So they said to me, Emeka, you need to understand that this thing that you're stepping into is not a business where you will be selling on a daily basis. It's not meat pie. It's not akara. It's something that people may not need on a daily basis. How do you make money to survive? So they began to tell me, do this. You have to create products. You have to consistently market. Imagine me studying mechanical engineering and then coming in to become somebody who is vicious as a marketer, who is always showing up on a daily basis to create content, to market and all that. I needed to learn those things. So the thing about it is that a lot of individuals, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this, I can't do that. Everything is learned. You learned how to speak, you learned how to make love, you learned how to lie, you learned how to work, you learned everything. So you can learn by studying the opportunities that are available in the career path that you want to get onto. So I studied. I did a lot of studying, by studying books, by reading books, by going for seminars, by connecting with masterminds, and I learned a lot of things. The next point, which is derived from this point that I just shared with you, was that one key thing that was going to help me to make my switch profitable was to expose myself, all right? So I began to create exposition assets. What did I do? Back then in Saipem, we are paid every last Friday of the month. And those last Fridays of the month were usually free days for us. And so every last Friday of the month, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we are usually free days, and then it return back to work on Sunday. So what I did was to expose my brand, to expose my personal brand. So I will leave the city of Port Harcourt and I will travel as far as Abuja. I will go as far as Jos, exposing my brand. So I was using the monies that I was paid, part of my salary, to host conferences, to host classes, to host meetups, and I began to share about me. I began to make people see me. I began to make people understand what it is that I was bringing into the marketplace. I began to make them to trust me. I began to create great value, exposing myself to as many people as possible to make them to buy into what it is that I was offering. All right. Remember, I'm being specific here. I'm not telling you how to switch one from one job to the other. I'm just sharing my story, how I was able to switch from being a mechanical engineer to being in business and running a profitable consulting company. Right. So exposition assets. So I began to share, I began to connect, I began to expose myself. I began to use social media massively. All right. So between 2010, when I became very intentional on social media, up until now, there's never been a day that has gone by without me making at least 1 or 2 posts on social media, exposing myself. My obsession on a daily basis, which is an addiction for me, is to say that every day, at least 5 people should know who Emeka Nubius is. All right, 5 people should know what the company does. 5 people should know what I do. All right, so it's an obsession for me, increasing my exposition assets on a daily basis. All right, so the last thing I'm going to be sharing with you today is connecting with allies. All right, connecting with intimates, because as I said, you are going to experience fear from time to time along on this journey. How do you keep yourself in check? How do you get yourself to the point where you're consistently inspired to do great things, to do more? Is by having intimates. And trust me, these intimates are not everybody who you call yourself, who you call friends. Not everybody is qualified to be part of your intimate circle. As it stands right now, I have only 3 people who are part of my intimate circle. One lady and 2 guys, all right, who are part of my intimate circle. These are the guys that I can come out, pour my frustrations on, share with them my aspirations, share with them my challenges, and they never look down on me or act condescendingly. And I know that in your life, there are some individuals who are willing to play this role in your life. So these are the people that you can connect with, have them as part of your intimate circle that you can share consistently your challenges with. Because there are certain days that you're going to wake up and you feel despair. There are certain days you're going to wake up, you feel mild depression. There are certain days you're going to wake up, you just don't feel like doing anything. You feel out of sorts, all right? So these intimates, these individuals are the ones that I can go and share. I can tell you the absolute truth. One thing that happened to me one time, the difference between an intimate and someone who we just call friend. I remember when I had issues, my landlord had told me to pack out from the house because he wanted to renovate the place and give it out again, all right? And so he said everyone who's in the compound should pack out from the compound. And that was a time when I didn't have so much inflow of funds to even leave the house. And I was going to look for a bigger place for my family, all right? So this man came and pulled out the front of the gate of the house. So I didn't really bother because he said he wanted to go and refurbish the gate. That house leads into the street, and you walk some distance until you get to the main gate that leads into the estate. So I didn't really bother because I knew that at the front we were secure. So we're living in the house without the front gate. And then he said to me after a while that he was going to pull out the back gate. All right. So I said to him, the back gate leads into another estate that has no gate. That means anybody from there could easily walk into a house. And I said to him, if that is done, and I come back from work one day and I find out that my child is missing, means that we're going to be dealing with something else apart from just pulling out the gate. So if you know what's good for you, don't pull off the gate. And then they listened to me and didn't pull off the gate. So that day I felt so bad with myself. And I called somebody I thought was going to listen. And I said to the lady, look at what I'm passing through. My I'm having issues with my landlord. I need to move out but right now I don't have all the funds to be able to rent a new house. Do you know what she said to me? She said, you're Emeka Nubius now, deal with it. It was cold, it was unemotional, it was painful. It was that was the day I realized that it's not everybody that you can speak to about your problems. It's not everybody you can speak to about your challenges. So right now I have a group of intimates, those that I can afford to let myself down, those that I afford to tell how I feel about my issues, my deep core challenges, and they don't laugh at me. They don't tell me, of course, you're an influencer now. You're always on social media. They know you. Why don't you have money and all that kind of stuff? These are individuals, when I tell them about my issues, they say, it's normal for you to feel that way. You're always doing that as if you are a Superman, but I know that you're a human being. And they tell me, okay, how do we solve this problem? What are your options? Let's look at the options. What can we deal with? What can we sell? What can we do to be able to solve this problem? So you need to be able to have intimates. When I was working in Saipem and I wanted to resign, I had to find an intimate, because I would walk into the office, walk into my friends' offices, and I keep telling them, hey, buy books, attend seminars, hey, do this, do that. I want you to improve your life. They saw me as an enemy, because every time all they were thinking about was how to leave Saipem and to go to another oil company or another higher paying oil servicing company. They were not thinking about how to improve themselves, how to read books, how to improve their intellect so that they could hold some great conversations with people who are not even part of their circles. And so they saw me as an enemy. Anytime I was walking into their offices, I would used to hear murmurs, "You don't come again." And then they began to feel that I was looking down upon them. They began to feel that I was holding myself so much in high esteem that I was acting condescendingly towards them. So what I did was to stop all those things. I wasn't bothered. I wasn't bothering myself anymore with telling them how to improve themselves. So what I did was to find one guy who was also on the journey that I was on. This was a guy who was always thinking, how could he do better? How could he even build a company? How could he be global? And so what I did every lunchtime, whenever the individual will be laughing or eating, we will come together, me and the guy will come together, and we began to brainstorm on how to get ourselves better, how we're going to build our businesses, how we're going to become global. So I found only one intimate, and I was very happy about that. So instead of me bothering my colleagues anymore, telling them, every afternoon I will be with the intimate, and then we will be discussing. We're building faith in ourselves, building faith in each other, telling ourselves that it was possible, giving ourselves words of confidence. And eventually I resigned from the company, and he has gone on to do other greater things for his life. All right. So that's the last thing, connecting with allies. I've been able to share great things with you this afternoon. I just have 30 minutes to be here, and then we'll ask questions. Building faith in yourself, confidence in yourself by speaking to yourself, by using affirmations, prayer, cocktail of strategies, all right? Bringing your spouse, your emotional anchors into unity with what the mission that you are on, then studying the terrain, studying the new career path that you want to be on, knowing what it entails so that you can function profitably in that career path, then growing your exposition assets. That also can include learning all the things that you need to learn to be able to function in new career path, and then finally connecting with the allies on the journey. That will help you to stay on course. That will help you to focus on the great things that can happen by you coming out, moving into the new career path, and then sustaining yourself along the journey. I hope I've been able to do great today, to share with you from the depth of my experiences.
So much. I hope that. Thank you so much, Emeka. Oh my gosh, you need to see all the comments in the comment section. You said how many did you mention? Yeah. Me, I wrote like 12. I picked 12 different things from what you said. Honestly, 12. I don't know about anybody else, but I picked 12 things. And this is me that I've also actually gone through this, but I learned a whole lot. Thank you so much. Emeka, please, if you have any questions for Emeka, kindly drop it in the comment section. If you have any questions for Emeka, kindly drop it in the comment section. Let's see. Although, yes, what is Emeka? Good delivery. People were just dropping all the things you said. Oh, you can see the comments.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I can see the comments. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So I don't even need to be reading them. Somebody said, wow, amazing truth. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, Niola.
Thank you so much. Please, if you have any questions for Emeka, kindly drop it in the comment section so that he can quickly answer it before he runs off. The next speaker is already in the corner. In fact, she sent me a message to say what's up.
Amazing.
But with what Emeka has said, I hope you all learned so much from it. And one thing that stood out for me in everything is, it says, no matter what is happening in the nation, people will keep buying. In fact, when Emeka said that, I was like, when you're in church and pastor will preach one message and it just like it entered. no matter what is happening in the nation, people will keep buying.
Let me share you a few things, because I see a lot of individuals are scared about certain things. I'll give you a particular example about what happened during the protest about a week ago. So many of my friends were scared of selling. All right, they were like, okay, who will buy it now that everybody is? Yeah, it could come off like as if you are not in tune with the happenings of the moment. But I told them, there's a way to sell and that it doesn't look like as if you sell it. For example, my wife sells food. She sells something she derives from organic foods. So I told her that we can even sell without selling. So what I did was I told her to put her hand like that, like as if the protest symbol, and then hold up what she was selling in the other hand, and then we took a picture with it, right? And I put out on social media, and said, it's only those who are fed well that can build the nation, all right? So telling people they have to buy food, eat food before they go out to protest. You understand what I'm saying? So even in the midst of the protest, people have to eat food, people have to drink water, right? And so during the pandemic, I had this issue with individuals telling me you shouldn't be selling, people are not buying and all that. I said, even in the midst of the pandemic, if money does not exchange hands, the economy will grind to a halt. That's the truth. So as long as money is exchanging hands from one person to the other, even in the midst of pain, even in the midst of depression, even in the midst of recession, then the economy will be upheld. And that's how people will still survive and live. So marketing consistently, right? Sharing good value, which is what I do. Today, I've done about 4 posts already on social media this morning, right? And I'm going to do another one or two before the day closes, because I've got value inside of me that I need the world to know. You yourself, you also got great value inside of you, even in the workplace, even if you are working within the company environment and you're not building a business, you've got great value. The more you showcase this great value, trust me, when I was working in Saipem, they knew that I had the ability to speak. And so when they wanted someone who was going to speak to the colleagues, because there were many Italians who couldn't express themselves good in correct English. So when they needed somebody who could come and use oratory powers to speak, they'll call on Emeka Nobi. So stop hiding your gift. Stop hiding your value. Showcase it in your workplace. Stop hiding your value, right? Stop having. So just go all out, give great value. Your company will even bless you more for giving greater value. Stop hiding it, bring it out, and you see great things happening for you. All right. Thank you very much, Ma. I think there's no other question.
Thank you so much. Yes, before you rush off, Emeka, because Emeka is doing awesome. I've joined some of Emeka's courses. There's one, your book will sell Academy. In fact, that's why I got the ginger to do what I'm doing. And there's another one, how to create your online course. I'm also part of that. So Emeka, please, can you tell us what you have on ground now that people can actually benefit from? Quick, 2 minutes.
Okay, so this is the book. This is the book that you're talking about. Your book we sell, all right? So this book is for so it's for everybody who wants his book to sell. So if you're thinking of authoring a book, or you've authored a book and your book is not selling, I opened up an academy where you have access to 40 videos. I did that in July and August, and then we closed down in September. But now, because of November, the Black Friday November, right in November, I'm opening up the academy again. The academy, as it stands now, is 50,000 naira. But I'm going to be doing a webinar. I'm going to be doing a webinar on the 20th, and I'm going to be sharing with you how I was able to do 690 pre-orders of this book within 60 days, and we raked in more than 3.8 million. All right, we raked in more than 3.8 million in sales from this particular book. So I'm going to be sharing it with you, just as authentically and the value laden that I'm sharing in 15 quick steps on the 20th. And then I'm going to open up the academy. Instead of 50,000 naira, you're going to get in for 20,000 naira. So if you are ready to be part of the academy and you're going to learn all the things, all the marketing, people like Steve Harris, people like Choma Ifanyeze, these guys, people like Paul Fo, who will show you how you can, not just about marketing books, but how you can become a marketing guru, a marketing ninja that people will be buying things from. So we're going to be opening up that academy again just for a week. You can join in for just 20,000 naira and be part of the academy. And trust me, by the time you're launching your book, or you've written a book that only your father and your mother and your boyfriend bought, then you're going to be able to get great value from that. All right. So I hope that you do. If you want, you can send me a message on WhatsApp 09025153322. All right,
Wait, calm down now.
09025.
Why are you rushing like this? Wait. Zero.
I think, yeah, 090
Yeah.
15
Yeah.
33
Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
All right. So if you send me a
Two
WhatsApp
two.
message and
I'll
tell me
put
that
that
you
in
want to
the
be
comment
part,
section.
if you want to be part of the webinar, trust me, even if you go through the webinar, you're going to get great value from the webinar alone. I'm not that kind of guy that will do webinar and then I'm going to be hyping you and telling you, hey, put in the comment, are you receiving Rema? No. All I'm going to be sharing will be great value. The things that I did that got results, I'm going to share them in 15 great steps. And then I'll open up to you. It's up to you. If you want to be part of the academy where you get extra resources, fantastic resources from all the great speakers that I brought together during the 24 days
Yeah.
in August to come and teach, then you can be part. Yeah, in August to come and teach, then you can decide to be part of the academy. Trust me, it's amazing, and there's
Yes.
nowhere else that you can get that kind of great. You were part of the academy. You understood what happened there.
Yes,
All the
so.
phenomenal
Yes,
people
so.
I brought from both from Nigeria and abroad. If you
In
want to be part of
fact,
it,
and
then
abroad, yeah.
fantastic. So that's it. So to reach me, 09025153322. Thank you,
Yep.
Labine. That's what I call you,
Thank
and I
you
like
so
that. I think
much, Emeka. Thank you. God
one of
bless
the
you,
great things
Emeka.
that
I
you're
really
doing. All right.
appreciate this. Guys, say thank you
I
to
can see,
Emeka
I can
Nobby. Thank
see,
you for coming, Emeka.
I can see my amazing friend, Jerry Ogumola. Thank you, Ma. It's been a long time. What's
Oh,
happening?
really? Derry and I are classmates. We're
Yeah,
classmates.
we've done a partnership together, and it
Oh,
was great.
it's a
You know,
small
so
world. It's a small world.
yeah, it
Thank you
is.
so much,
Yeah,
Emeka. I really appreciate you. God bless you so
thank
much.
you,
Keep doing what you're
thank
doing. Keep
you.
impacting lives and adding value. Please, you can follow Emeka on Facebook, Emeka Nobis, all right? The guy is so proud of himself. He's Emeka Nobis everywhere. On Instagram, YouTube, follow Emeka. Oh, I'm not lying. Thank you, Emeka. So I'm going to be removing you now. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Emeka. Yes, that was a wonderful presentation, and that was an awesome way to break the ice and to get into, the business of the day, the Living My Truth Virtual Summit. As you can see, I have another laptop here. Now I'm in Nigeria where there is never any power. Unfortunately, they've taken since. So the laptop I used with Emeka just went. It's going to go off in the next 5 minutes or so. So I'm going to have to log on to another laptop. If that one goes off again, I'm going to use my trusted phone last. The reason why I don't want to use my phone yet is because I'm still using it to communicate with, to send messages to our speakers. So I'm believing God that by the time, before this laptop would die, I'm believing God that I will be able to, they would have brought light or something. But if not, we'll keep going. Because if there's one thing I know, it is that you should learn to improvise as you go along. Things will not always be the way you want it to go. But if you just keep at it, and I also picked that from what Emeka said as well. If you also keep at it, you have to keep showing up no matter what. Sometimes you might not feel like. Honestly, this summit, especially with all the answers that happened, I almost, said I wasn't going to do anymore. But thank God I did not give up. And thank God that my speakers were also on board with me with this program. So thank you so much, Emeka. That was how to overcome the fear of switching career paths. So I think you should be able to hear me now. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Calm down. I'm working on it. I'm working on it, guys. And okay, I'm back now. Can you hear me now? Ah, fantastic. Nigeria will not kill somebody. Honestly, living in Nigeria, hey, living in Nigeria is, I'm sending a message to my next speaker to join in. So you can hear me now. People that are in the abroad that are on my stream, please let us know how we can jackpot season. Okay, so the reason why you guys couldn't hear me, like I said, I had to make the transition into another laptop to use. My prayer is that before this laptop goes off, they would have brought light, because they don't usually take light this long. But you know, sometimes the devil want to show himself. I think I have to even let my lights now so that you can see me well. All right. People say, can you hear me? Somebody in that appears I'm on mute. Can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, let me know. Somebody is still saying, Anne. Okay, Anne, you're good. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. So those are some of the challenges that you face doing things online, but we have to keep, thank you so much for your feedback. I appreciate. You have to keep, you have to keep going along and you have to keep trying. Okay. So I just have to change my laptop. Now the next speaker, she's on standby. Adenike is on standby. Let me bring her up so I can see her
I'm trying
face.
to.
Adenike, where are you? I can't see your face. So
I'm trying to turn. Wait, is it? I'm using my phone because the laptop is not here. So I'm trying to turn the.
Okay, I think you need to. Yeah, your camera. The camera.
How do I do that?
Your camera. You have to. So that you can face. If you look
so
on,
that means I have
I'm
to
not so
turn
good.
my
I'm not so
phone.
thank you.
I need to turn my phone itself.
You know, like no. Like when you are on Instagram, like when you're on Instagram and you want to do a live, they have to press something below your phone so that it shows your face. Like when you want to do Instagram live.
Yeah. My village people are here. Just wait. Let me see. Edit.
Okay, be sorting yourself out. Be sorting yourself out. I'll bring you back on. I'll bring you back on once I can see your face.
Done.
So, okay, shout out to everyone that is still with here. Bring Nika back up in a bit. Yes, she has been able to adjust herself. It's technology, don't worry. We're all, in this together. It can only get better. Let me adjust my earpiece. All right, so thank you so much to those that are still with me. I appreciate you. For those that joined in between, my name is Bimbo Lasokwe. Let me reintroduce myself again. And the Living My Truth Virtual Summit came up about as a result of wanting to share, personal challenges with people and let them understand that, look, challenges are not to one person. Thank you so much, Opeyemi. They're not peculiar to one, actually things that everybody will go through, but it's the ability to be able to cope with them and still thrive in spite of them. That is where a lot of people need help. And yes, we say experience is the best teacher, but it doesn't have to be your own experience. You can use someone else. You can't hear me, like Amala, you to try again. Other people can hear me. Oh, I don't know what's happening. Amala, try again. Other people can hear me. Who else can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me know in the comment section if you can hear me. So the Living My Truth is meant to be like, you leveraging on other experiences and using it as a survival guide to actually, live and thrive. So my next speaker, like I said, I bring her on so that let me add to. It is well. We'll not kill somebody. So my next speaker is actually Adenike Oyetunde. I'm trying to bring her up. I don't know what's happening again. Adenike. Oh la la la. Seems like my laptop is hanging and then it's raining.
I'm here. Can you?
Adenike, I'm trying to bring you up.
Oh.
Laptop. Okay, so just give me a few minutes. Let me know if you can hear me, guys. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Please drop in the comment section if you can still hear me.
Breaking.
So that I can know exactly where to troubleshoot from. Because right now I can only see my face. I'm trying to add a okay, I didn't care. To my phone. You guys can hear me, but even me, I cannot hear myself. I can't see myself. I can't hear myself. I can't see my. I'm trying to use my phone. Hear me? All right, guys. I wish they would just Jesus. Network. The laptop is hanging. Your own, no. I don't know what's going on. It will be fine. The devil is a liar. Yeah, guys, I'm trying to go to my phone direct. No time. All right. Okay. I will take this off. but I'm just seeing myself. I want to see Adenike. Adenike.
Yes.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can. I can see the frozen one. I can see the new you, and I can see myself.
Okay, so let me take myself off my laptop now.
Okay.
Wow. Now what? It is well.
Technology. Amen.
Ah, technology, eh? And the first session went well, oh. But it's all good.
Oh, yes.
It's all good. It's all good. I don't know why I'm showing this way. Let me.
But can you see me? Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Hello, everyone. How are you doing?
Mic check, mic check. Okay, I think we are back.
Okay.
Yes, I think we are back. Please, can you drop comments? Let me know that you can see me or see us. It's not me now, it's us. Can you see us? Can you hear us? If you know all the gadgets that I have in my house, eh? Hey, yeah, thank you so much, Toyin, for those words of encouragement. Me, I knew that the devil want to show himself, but it's all good. We've prayed about this. We got this.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm trying to use a stand and all. All right, guys, are we back? Can you hear us? Can you see? Nick, say something, please.
Hi, hello everyone. What's up? What's
Okay.
up? What's up? What's up?
All right. You can see and hear me now. Okay. Ah, thank God you can see the both of us. Oh, Jesus. So I had to resort to my phone last. So I was using laptop started messing up. But you know what? Like I always say, there's no failure, there's just feedback. I learned that in NLP. There's nothing like failure, it's just feedback. So all of the network issues and all of that is just feedback to learn on how to improve. Now I know the next time I'm doing this, I'm going to have some serious gadgets, more serious gadgets. I thought I had enough, but it's obvious that I did not have. I have 3 laptops and everything just decided to.
Oh, wow.
So I'm using my faithful phone. My faithful phone. That's what I'm using. And God bless this my phone.
All right, so remind of God. It says that what is in your hands. You see you looking for the.
I'm telling you.
And then is that your?
I'm telling you, I underestimated the phone. All right, so guys, let's quickly continue. Let's jump back and continue the session. We still have 4 more speakers, you know, although we're going to have a break by 4 o'clock. So don't worry, you will still have time to go off and then we'll come back on again. But now my next speaker is actually Adenike Oyetunde. She's a cancer survivor. Now I told you that I asked my speakers to send me their profiles, but I choose not to read all of those professional. I like to say it the way I know these people, one-on-one. All right, forget all of the things that we've written down. If you look at what me, if I write my profile, even me, I'll be like, is it not me? But it's not about that. These are people that have achieved a lot in their own spheres of life. But the important thing and the reason why they are here on this summit is because of the challenges they've been able to go through or might still be going through, and yet they are still thriving. They are still accomplishing a whole lot. Now, so many of us, you know, things happen and then you just sit there and you're like, I can't do anything. Hey, Adenike is an amputee. That means Adenike has 1 leg off. All right. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory way, but I'm just saying it to let you know that you have able body like you and I, 2 legs, 2 hands, 2 eyes, 2 ears. All right. You will still have excuse. Adenike is someone that, you know, in fact, a lot of times she doesn't like to use her crutches. I've noticed that Adenike. She doesn't like to use her crutches. She's like a superwoman without her 1 leg. You know, so Adenike is a lawyer and a media personality and also an advocate. All right, like I said, she's a cancer survivor. The interesting thing about her story is that she had to have her leg amputated at the age of 20 when you're just starting life as a young girl, you know, that kind of thing. And despite that, she was able to still go ahead to become a lawyer. go ahead to become a media personality. She was on Nigeria Info, and her show was one of the biggest shows on that station at the time. In fact, that show used to have so many callers. I'm a media personality, but I used to listen to Adenike because her show was huge. And she used to offer a lot of legal counsel to people when they call in, offer a lot of solutions and all of those things. So let me keep quiet now. Allow Nike take it away. Nike is going to be talking to us on how to leverage on your pain and find purpose. How to leverage on your pain and find purpose. Oh, wow. If I don't do this, you know it's anti-bimbo. All right. Adenike, over to you.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm glad that you reminded me about the theme. I kind of forgot for a bit. And I remember that earlier you had agreed that, I was going to have a time slot, and because there are other speakers, I'm going to try as much as possible to not infringe on their time, because you never can tell other plans people have. Pain and purpose, and it's a very interesting concept, and I would say interesting for lack of a better word. And that's because quite often when people are going through very interesting seasons in their lives, you tell them about for people who are religious, you see people tell them stuff about, God has a plan, don't give up. God gives his toughest soldiers to his strongest, his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers.
To his strongest soldiers.
And it kind of sounds patronizing for somebody who is disillusioned in where life has thrown them and where life has tossed them. But what I have realized for my own self is that one of the biggest lessons I have taken out from 2020 is a theme of self-preservation. Because an individual who is dead and laid, 6 feet on the ground cannot speak of experiencing pain, or cannot speak of the process of transiting from pain and then finding purpose. So self-preservation is one thing that I believe has become a guiding principle for me as an individual. And I see it play out in almost everything that I do, and in almost every experience, whether personally or through people that are close to me. Case in point, there's everyone, in this year experience 2020. 2020 has come, and all of us are experiencing it in different ways. Such that the people who would one time emotionally blackmail other people, a character that I also started to imbibe and I had no idea I was doing, I'm now beginning to realize that at a point in everybody's life, you begin to understand that not every life, has you as their centerpiece. That you have an emergency does not mean it's someone else's emergency. Secondly, that wherever it is you stop with people is where you pick up from the next time that you reconnect with them, without having to blackmail them and do the rubbish that we're very, very prone to do. Oh, you forgot me. Oh, yeah, I forgot you. That's what it is. Kill yourself. There's nothing I can do about it. I actually forget you because I was going through my own issues. Wow. Honestly speaking, I was going through my own issues. And, that's why I'm now beginning to see how it interprets to how I read to everyone. So what become for me, especially with self-preservation as a backdrop, if I see emotionally me more than I can give to you, I mentally cut you out. So if you have that friend, we haven't seen in 5 months, for instance, and the first thing you start to say is, they send me what's up. I'm like, look, in that moment, and I'm being honest, I subconsciously, my brain subconsciously compartmentalizes you and knows that this is the kind of person this person is. That's it. And why it's necessary for me to start from 2020 and the experiences that I personally am still learning and going through. And this is an experience that is not a one-off. I believe very strongly is a life tool. Is because, like you mentioned earlier, 10 years of losing my limb. I have my days, that's the honest truth. I have my good days, I have my not so pleasant days. And the reality about it is, I have moved from a place where I'm strong to a place where I have to be strong. Sorry, Jerry, I use chips to shock this thing. Strong, go and kill it. So I had to be strong around me. Now I'm in it where it's okay for me to accept that people's lives journey and draw strength from it. And that is on them, not my responsibility. I took it upon myself to want to inspire people, to want to motivate people, to want to do this, to want to do that. But what that has done, through the tears, I learned a lesson by myself. It overburdens you and you become, unconsciously overwhelmed. And you may not be able to articulate what the issue is, but you just feel tired. You wake up in the morning, you're tired, and you probably had an 8-hour. Why am I this tired? It's because yes, your body was resting, but your mind wasn't. And your mind wasn't because you have taken it upon yourself to want to inspire every single person that you have met along the line. How about you leave first? How about you preserve yourself? You preserve your mental space. You preserve your physical energy. You preserve the people who have access to you, which is something that I now slowly and still gradually learning, because I am an open access person. By nature, it is who it is that I am. Showing me that that I'm open-minded and I'm an open book doesn't mean that every other person is. And it is not that they are mean. It is just that for the people who have shown want to earn from me, I have realized that people need to earn your vulnerability. If I'm going to be open with you, transparent with you, with every struggle that I go through, it means that through time you have earned it. Not because I feel like something I want to give to you. I'm not going to throw, my personal experiences to someone who doesn't understand the gift of vulnerability or doesn't understand the gift of what it means for someone to feel shame since that they have learned. And that's one thing that has, shown me how my purpose work is growing into. Because for me, I know without a doubt that purpose is not an end. There is no end to purpose. If you go to the graveyard, we could exhume bodies who lived longest. Sorry, people who lived longest. I know people longest and people who could achieve a whole lot. You find out that a lot of them will still have had wanted to achieve in their lifetime. You still have had dreams that they wanted to see actualize. So I believe very strongly that purpose journey is not a journey of finality, it's a journey of longevity, something that continues to unravel. If you used to be a person who used to eat everything, and then somehow you have health challenges, and the doctors start to advise you to stay off dairy, you need to start to inculcate a vegan diet. Then by the time you get to vegan, you now start finding out that, it's as if I have to reduce my intake of several things. After you get to maybe 45 and you see that, the vegan life has become a part of who it is that you are. And so, can I have some kind of red protein? And they say, yeah, let's try animal meat and let's see how that will go. You try it and you see that everything is back to normal. You start to infuse that into your diet, and it goes on and it's never ending. And that's the thing about why it is important to understand what purpose is, especially in the light of pain. Now, every single person experiences pain. And if I ask you what you have experienced in 2020, you will tell me like top 5 things of experiences, and people will say, oh my God, you went through that you have clothes on your, you have a roof over your head, and you have it. People don't understand that the problem you experience or encounter transcend the problems of basic amenities, of clothing, of shelter. For some people, it had even become an issue of even paying their rent, and then nobody knows about it. Why? Because the human such that for a lot of people, they keep pushing and pushing until there's no way to push. And that it has become the core of who I am. By nature, my composition, I don't know what the composition of my body is, but DNA-wise, I'm very certain that I have more optimism. I have a more optimistic to life. So I can't lie to you now and say that top way how I've been able to transit that journey of moving from that pain experience at the time when it happened, and occasionally when I remember the reality of having one leg. It is a painful and it is a full reality. But then again, that journey and that pain, I have unconsciously, been able to grow into a mindfulness of how important that journey is. I don't know anyone else who would have handled all of this the way that I think I'm doing. And I'm being honest. And I think that is an indication to me that I'm best suited for this journey. Yes, I would always want to say, oh, I'm sure that we could have just continued this journey of life, God, and journey of hope, optimism, strength, courage, confidence, without having to have, permitted that occurred. But I don't have an answer as to why it happened. And for that reason, what would fit me if I desire to just continue to wallow in the pain? Occasionally I'll ask myself if for 14 years I had just been a miserable person, I would have not met the people I have met. I would have not met, more amazing people. I would have not been to places that I have been to. I wouldn't have, on platforms that I have been, fortunate enough to be, to speak on, or, be, the list is endless. And that's because of a single decision by me without anybody facilitating it to say, you know what, yes, this has happened. How do we go on here? As we normally will say, it will say, what's the way forward? So what way forward even after the painful experience? Yes, it's easy to analyze the 5 steps of grief. Oh, you deny it, you accept it, all of that. But the truth about it is it plays out differently for all of us. And every single person experiences all those 5 processes. Every single of those, the five of them, where you deny, then they get to angry. And somehow, for whatever it is worth, I wasn't angry as much as people would have expected, or what people expect me to share, or how angry were you? Were you angry at God? And I'm being honest. I never was angry at God. I still am not angry at God, but I have questions. And the fact that I have questions doesn't mean that I'm angry. It just means that, hey, let's have a conversation about it. Yes, it's taking me time for me to get some of the answers, honestly. However, unsatisfied I am about the answers that I feel very strongly that God has sent my way, whether through people, whether speaking directly to me in different methods, dreams, whatever it is, through someone I understand, through reading a book, through watching a movie, through seeing a series. The answers have come in several ways. And one of the things that I know that has continued to resonate with me is that I am for this journey. No one else could have done it. No one else could have done it, and our mental health still very intact. No one else could have done it and probably not have attempted to, commit suicide. At least the people that I know. I meet people who are freshly amputated, for whatever reasons, acquire it, or, birth, natural. And you see that in the early stages, they are disillusioned. They are confused. Like, is there life after this? If there is life after this, what does that look like? Is there a possibility for me to even live? Which is where I had, unbeknownst to me, been taking the responsibility of inspiring and motivating them. But I have now grown into a space where my biggest joy is simply living my life. I'm living my life. I'm staying in my lane. And it's interesting that for people who are able to connect with the journey and the story, periodically, 1 or 2 persons will say, oh, this is what happened, and because I did this. I know people who have gone to learn how to swim because I started to resume swimming classes. Wow. I know people who went to learn to drive because they knew that. I know I have a friend who literally went, climbed Olumoro because she knew I did it. And she had been there a number of times. I never got to the top. But because I did it, when she got to the top, she did a video and sent to me that I never. Yeah, and for me, I think that, this is interesting. If my getting top of Olumoro Rock is something that will push you to get to the top of Olumoro, that's a beautiful experience for all of us, I guess. But I didn't go to the top of Olumoro because I wanted to go to the top. I went to the top of Olumoro because I wanted to get to the top of Olumoro. I joined social prefectures, and the trip is wanted to go on. I never went there, in primary school or in secondary school or high school, like some people call it. I never did go. And when it was time for me to go, I did. And I just wanted to. And I believe very strongly in the power of the people that we're, around, and the people that are around us. Because on that particular trip, I remember it like yesterday. The people around me on that trip continued to urge me on. Like, they would wait with me to catch my breath. They would stay with me. We'll periodically take pictures to just while away time, or I've been able to get more. And I know that if I had gone with people who were like, they can do it, and maybe you should just wait. So let's quickly go and come back. I know that I would have just waited for them to stop and come back. But no single person around me on that trip at that time ever told me, I can do it. Them told me, if you're sure that you can do it, then let's do it. What do you need? You need to rush. You need to catch your breath for minutes, 2 minutes. We'll wait with you. You need to catch your breath for 5 minutes. We'll wait with you. You can never underestimate the power of the people you have around you. It's very necessary for people to understand that pain will always happen. Pain is a part of life. The experience that we go through in life will always come out the way that we plan. And because it will not come out the way that we plan all the time, pain is just a factor that happens. And pain is an emotion. It's not the end. It is not in the entirety of who and it is. It is one of the 1 million emotions that every individual can go through. And then one emotion that pain is an experience an individual can go through, and pain is also an emotion that an individual can then show out to people around them. This was a painful experience, or this thing is paining me. Two different things, but the most important thing is there's still pain. So I believe very strongly that a single person understands that you go through a painful experience, or you have pain as an emotion that you're expressing. It doesn't undermine that God doesn't love you. It just undermines that, look, at the end of the day, no matter how disillusioned you are, it is called life, and that is what it is. Nobody has an answer to it. Nobody knows the end. Nobody knows why this happens to you. It happened to you. Nobody knows all of it. But the interesting thing is, if you ask yourself if you can live better, meaningful, happier, joyful life, yes, you can. And yes, you can do that by moving from that painful experience, or moving from that experience of allowing emotion being such a strong hold over you, and translating it into different things. Which is why, again, everybody needs to know how to exert bad emotions. People say they call it negative vibes. We know when we are, when you're irritable, when you act personally to someone around you. We all know it. So how do you get out of that space? It's the same thing with pain. When you start to feel pain as an emotion, what do? Do you move, do you go on holiday to your auntie who stays in, where can I say, in Jos, because Jos environment you have never made to Jos. It's one way for you to open up your mind into a different environment. And quite often, a lot of us are not as open as changing our environments when we go through painful experience, when things happen, especially as Africans. It's Oyinbo people that 2 years from now, they're already planning their summer of 2023. It is who they are. Honestly, us is, let me speak about myself. Me is one week to the holiday. I'm like, okay, you guys, please, I need a ticket. It's just, and it's a bad thing, which is why we don't get things cheaper, which is why it feels like we use all our money. The Oyinbo person has booked, their holiday trip in 3 years, way ahead. So it's cheaper. They're using their miles. There are many things that the environment encourages. We don't. Even when we travel also, we don't understand what it is to accumulate miles. You're telling somebody that you can accumulate your miles. Honestly speaking, I feel like the joy that comes from painful experiences are really responsibilities. Nobody else's responsibility. If you're married, not your spouse. If you have children, not your children. If you have an employer, not your employers. It is your ability first. If when the people around you see that you have put effort into to translate that pain into something else, they themselves will catch up with you. But once they don't see, they don't know how to help you. They don't know where to reach you. So you have shut your mind and you have shut people around you out. It's almost impossible for anyone to reach you. physically and mentally. And when people cannot, connect with you mentally or emotionally, there's really nothing they can do for you. Not partner. So I see people, who as newly amputated persons, who are caregivers of amputated persons, who are completely confused and don't know how to reach out. And I always say, especially for the ones who say, "Oh, I think they should call." I'm like, it's completely intrusive for me to just pick up my phone in someone that I've never spoken to in all my life to say, "Hi, your cousin gave me your number, said that you lost your hand." If it were me, I'm like, who the hell is this person? It is completely and utterly intrusive. And I know that caregivers don't know how to connect. That is one way that they think they can connect. Why? Because there's somebody who has that experience that they think can connect with their loved one who is a new fresh amputee. But for the few who are being honest enough to let me, be truthful, I'll tell them point blank, it's intrusive for me to call your family member. I can't. I'm sorry. Because if someone had called me to back then, I may not have taken it very. It would have just been one of those conversations. But introduce the person to me. Let the person show a desire to want to speak with me. You see that the difference is that when I connect with the person, there's a healing that comes with the semblance of pain. It comes easier. For me, it's beautiful to see, 4 years, 6 years, why, and I see how they are blooming. There's a young lady, she's like one of my amputee friends, Chioma. It was 5 years, in fact, until she posted it on social media. I'm like, what? It's 5 years already? I remember meeting her father and her sister, and then Chioma, and I remember telling her, it's going to be fine. Everything is going to be fine. You will be fine, And she was very honest. Still one of the most beautiful stories, because I'm seeing her and she's blooming. Why? Because she has now come into her own, which is something a lot of us have to accept. And it's once we start to see it. Some of us fight it. When we see ourselves coming into our own, we'll start fighting it. Who is this person? I don't know this new person. I don't like this new person. I want to be the old person, because we get so familiar with, we get too regular with the familiar, and then this new person we are evolving into, we are fighting it. Allow this new person evolve. Allow this new version of yourself evolve. To do different things that you never you could do. Try it. A trial will not hurt you. How about you do it and you take it off a bucket list to say, oh, so I did this today. Though I'm not sure I'll do it again, but today. And I'm excited that I did it today. That's one thing. That's one way. It seems very simplistic, but that's one way that I realize that people can translate pain of losing a loved one, pain of losing a partner, pain of end to a marriage, a union. It's such a painful and devastating experience. I haven't, been divorced. I have had bad breakups, and sometimes I would ask myself back then that, oh wait, do you mean that if this was a marriage, this would have been the end? It wouldn't have been the end. Why? Because in that moment, you're allowed to feel all of the emotion and all of the pain. So when I meet new amputees or I meet their loved ones, I always say, don't force them to heal. If they don't express all of the versions of the they are going through now, I promise you, they're here 15 years, and everybody is wondering, who is this person? The earliest stage, however long it takes, 2 years, 3 years. I've seen somebody do it in a few months. We differ, and we differ in how we interpret, things, how we interpret and accept situations and experiences. So because of that one reason, it's very necessary to express all the versions of the pain and the painful experiences that you can exhibit as an individual. Otherwise, it becomes near impossible to move past that space. And even when you're jumped and you move past that space, 15 years along wherever it is that you are on a career, you relocated, you started a new business, into a new apartment, whatever it is, or even you're married and you have children. The person wakes up one day and just snaps at this their life, because at the point where they should have expressed all the versions of the pain that they had, or we did not allow them. We just continue to say, hey, men don't cry, yo. Men don't cry, yo. It's not a man's thing to cry. Like, the last person that said it, the person that, oh, she won't me by, and I'm like, if only you want to slap you. It's because that's why, honestly speaking, the viral video of Ben Ayade is preposterous to say the least because of what he's saying. But this afternoon, I actually paused and asked myself, apart from the fact that he's abdicating responsibility, have we become so disillusioned to seeing a grown man cry and just feel like it's all comical? Just this afternoon, I was watching the video. I'm like, okay, so why is this video amusing us? And this is me who, honestly speaking, I'm like, what is wrong with us? No. I'm not pardoning him for his rubbish of not being able to own up to all that happened. But really, what if that is how Nayade is? What if we sit his wife down and start to ask her, is this how your husband is always crying? She says, yes, that's what he is. He cries a lot. He expresses emotions. We have a different stance to how we had interpreted seeing him cry on social media. I think it's a question that all of us need to consider. Why? Especially because here we are told men don't cry.
Don't cry.
Where it started from, who started it, only God knows. But it's such a disruptive, it is such a bad thing. So what happens? One of the ways that the human body knows to express itself is through tears. And it's not a sign of weakness. It's just, can you do me? For me, I don't hide my tears are not for me. I can cry. If I start watching film, because if somebody die, I can start crying. Nah, it's not that deep. Honestly speaking, life isn't that deep. So, like I started earlier, I don't have an A to Z of how this experience, is slowly and gradually becoming a purpose work for me, than to just share my own experience and different pockets of stories that I have a myriad of. And I'm hoping that for whatever it is worth, once since I've been able to just take a thing or two to say, okay, if for any reason, just express all the versions, allow people to their pain and allow them just own it. I know some of us are stubborn and don't want to start the healing procedures. Yes, us are stubborn and don't want the healing to start. But at a point where you've allowed someone to express all the versions of their pain, some of us need to be jump-started to say, Akilo day 5 years ago. And it's not a function of time. We say it easily. It's not a function of time. For people who lose partners to death, you will see family members say, 1 year or just 1 year, or my cousin has been married. Sorry, who told you that 12 months was, a long enough time for them to have remarried, or was too short a time for them to remarry? Everybody doesn't know how everybody interprets and has to navigate through pain. What should be of concern to you is, how is my cousin in his or her head? Is this person in a better? Family members will show concern, especially the woman will show concern. They say, I sure to marry, to ready. But if it's the man, nobody cares. Yeah. It's honestly too patriarchy. Like, nobody cares. Nobody. I want to marry, but the woman, hey, like the family will be saying, the family of the spouse, hey, I hope they will not say that you have been dating this person when their son was alive. Yeah. And honestly speaking, I know that story for a certainty. It happened to a friend of mine, and it was beyond ludicrous for someone in her extended family to mention it. So It's necessary again for us to remember that nobody has it all figured out. All of us, you see, all of us now are looking for how to go to Canada. Well, for people that are going to Canada.
Jackpot season.
Not everybody wants to go to Canada. Not everybody will go to Canada. But the point is, our lives have different faces, and God speaks to us through different ways. That it works for me in one particular way doesn't mean it will work for another person. One of the genesis of my haircut was an expression of my emotion. I was where I was expressing. I found it difficult to color in my hair. Whatever it is worth. For 2 years, I've attempted. So I found out that, that was where you were. In December, if I try again, okay, let's try it. I've been to the salon twice, attempt to color my hair. Don't color it, just cut it, let it go.
Wow.
Why? Because it is what I have owned the emotion with. I have a relationship with my hair. Someone was telling me that. A friend of mine was saying that you and your hair. I said, yes, my hair is an indication of where I am emotionally. High, low, funky, spiky, almost what's going on. Always tell from my hair. Always tell from my hair. Oh, I'm in a chill place. Oh, I'm doing this. You can always tell from my hair. And that is how I've been able to interpret it. For some other persons is writing. Continue to write. Person who starts a blog and then in 1 week the person has written like 15 articles. So it's different. Find rhythm and just stick to it. Don't let the world determine to you what pain experience should look like. It's you who experienced it. It's you who is expressing that emotion. So why should you give hour to determine to you how you should interpret it? Don't give anybody that power. No single person deserves that power. Full stop, comma, full stop.
I wanted you to continue. Oh my gosh, wow. Adenike. I don't even know what to say. So many comments. I think you should be able to see comments from your side. Can you see comments?
No, is it the chat? Let me see comments.
Yeah, there's someone there that you can. Yeah, so you can see people's comments. So please, if you have any questions for Adenike, please drop it in the comment section. Adenike, wow, in fact, let me just say that was a very mind-blowing session you just gave us. Like, I wrote down so many things. I'm always writing. See, I wrote down so many things.
Yeah, my sister.
You're always writing too, right? I like the part where you said, allow people own their pain. I like that part. I like don't force them to heal. And then the one that jumped out at me the most was allow the new version of yourself evolve. Now, I know so many people, because, okay, I'll speak from my own example because I don't like to talk for people. Let me talk from my own point of view. I remember when I just came out of my marriage at that time, 11 years ago, and I was broken, totally broken. And, you know, I had this victim mentality. I had this self-pity. I was in that state for a while. And the truth was, when things started changing, it was like I didn't want to change. So that, it was like I enjoyed being in that victim place, you know, because I come to understand, I come to appreciate a single mom, you know, she left her husband, her husband left her, you know. I was beginning to, no, I won't say I was enjoying hearing that, but...
Well, I think
did you ever have that?
Well, I think that for me, I've never had it because I really don't understand what it is to be able to say, you must be enjoying. There's nothing to enjoy about being an amputee. There is nothing. Honestly, there's nothing. Okay. Let's think about it together logically. Maybe when I was in university, when there would always be a queue, I would always be excited. Yeah, I have one leg, so they will allow me to show you. Yeah, but I'm being honest. Or maybe when we go for events and ask them, or when we're trying to get parking and go, okay, I have one leg. But those are mundane things. Those are things that if they didn't give me, we would have still parked somehow. So if they weren't like, I woke up hoping that there must be parking issues so that I'll now
this one leg.
There really isn't much in the light of this conversation, but the question that you asked me, you know, with I'll take my back over anything, honestly speaking. So.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Adenike. And I appreciate you choosing to speak on this platform. I remember when I reached out to Adenike, it was via Instagram. Or I think I've only seen Adenike maybe twice, and it was at 2 different events. One, you came to my church. That was many years ago. And then the other one was Oyinkansola Alabi's events. We met briefly and took a picture.
Okay,
So
okay. I
think this is the longest time I've had a conversation with you, and I'm super duper
you owe me
excited.
small chops. You owe me small chops.
With drink, Seth Chapman, as in on the
I
rock.
drink sugar. Take your drink.
I just take my drink. Okay, I owe you small chops. Don't worry. I will redeem it. So thank you so much. I remember when I sent a message to Adenike on Instagram, I said, "Hey sis, can you speak on my?" And she put the jackpot emoji, the running away emoji, And I'm so glad that you were here with me today. I'm so glad you've been able to share your truth, live your truth. I mean, your page is like my go-to for any information I want to hear. All your stories, I'm always looking. Adenike is always teaching us different words, different things that are going on. If you want to know anything and everything, just go on Adenike's stories. So Adenike, can you you can type in the comment section, you drop your handles where people can follow you on. Then Adenike did mention she has a book, her autobiography, your life story. Yeah. Adenike, did you put everything inside that book?
I don't see where they are writing message. Well,
you
don't worry
say, okay,
yourself,
I will.
Don't worry
you know
yourself.
what? I will put it
Follow
up.
me on
That's the problem with
social
phone.
media.
on social,
Adenike is different with space.
I'll put it up. I'm going to transit to that's why I like using the laptop for this, because when you're using the phone, it's really
it allows you.
Yeah. There's so much there's very little you can do. So I would write it. Adenike, where can they get your book? That your autobiography? Is it in major bookshops or what?
Well, it's a Lata, it's a Roving Heights, it's on Amazon. I think for now, it's a Book Peddlers before she catches me. If you do the e-version, BAM Books or Kada Books, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. All right, Adenike, thank you so much. Thank you so much. People are saying, keep reading the comments. You guys should continue to drop comments for Adenike. I want to make the switch to my laptop again so that I can also write more stuff. Thank you so much for coming on the summit. I don't take it for granted. Keep being yourself. You inspire so many people, even though you don't know. But I'm sure you know, because aside what you do, the way you live your life every day, like you're the gratitude coach, and that is another thing. Adenike she's very big on gratitude, and it's the truth. Be grateful for any situation you find yourself, because it could have been worse. I always tell people that it could have been worse. So thank you so much, Adenike. I will talk to you in a bit. God bless you. Please keep dropping comments for Adenike. I'm trying to make the switch back to my laptop. We have Lolo coming up next. Lolo is our next guest. Yes, please keep dropping the comments for Adenike. Keep dropping the comments. Keep dropping the comments for Adenike. Lolo 1 is coming up next, right? So I want to make the switch. They brought light. I want to make the switch to my laptop, because the laptop actually gives me a better experience. So that is why I prefer using it on the laptop. Although the phone is the backup or is loyal, but that laptop, So I'm going to make the switch. And here I am. Okay. Ooh. Fantastic. Let me quickly send a message to Lolo to join us. Okay, so I'm trying to send a message to Lolo. Please, can you still hear me? Let me know if you can still hear me. Kindly drop it in the comment section. Shout out to those that have been with me. I can see you guys. Some people have been on since we started, and you are still on. You guys are the real MVPs, honestly. So I want to send a message to Lolo to join in. Lolo's session is next. And then after Lolo's session, we have a 1 hour break so that we can all catch our breaths, go and eat and all of that. And that's going to be from 4 to 5. We're going to have a break 4 to 5, and then we'll come back on again by 5. All right. So I'm sending Lolo her link. I've sent it already to her, but I need to just tell her to come on. I've sent it to her before, but I'm just sending it again to remind her, because she's also been watching. You know, everybody is busy. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Like saying thank you, Bimbo. Well done, Bimbo. Aha. You see, I'm even sweating. There's ACO, but all of this action that is going on right now is not being. It's another thing when you're doing your Instagram live and all of those things. But this kind of virtual summit, you know, encouraging people. Let me try and call her, because her session is actually up now. I'm trying to call her. Let me try and to her. Okay, so I just spoke to. See, I'm sweating under AC. Honestly, you know, you write down stuff and say, "Oh, I want to do this. I want to do this." Then when you start, everything just gets thrown out of the window, like, because different things happen and you're just trying to get yourself together. So it's still the Living My Truth Virtual Summit, the first edition, the maiden edition. Don't worry, next year's zone is going to be on another level by God's grace. I hope you can still hear me, guys. I hope you can still hear me. Please let me know that you can still hear me. Kindly drop it in the comment section. Let me know that you can still hear me. Next year's zone, don't worry, it's better. This is the first one. And you guys are amazing. You guys are doing great. I mean, you're making me happy. Even though some people are still sending me messages, I want to register. At what time? I can't attend all of those ones. But I know that those that are here, that are on here, that are listening, that are watching, or will be watching the replay, you actually need to hear it. And that's why you are here. So I don't take it for granted. So we've had 2 speakers already. We've had Emeka Nobis. He spoke to how to how to overcome the fear of switching careers. That's what Emeka Nobis spoke to us about. And then we just had Adenike Oyetunde. Adenike is a cancer survivor and an amputee, and she has given us her story and how, well, basically how she's living her life, how she chooses to continue to live her life despite the challenges. I mean, it doesn't get any different than having one leg. She can't have that one leg tomorrow, and she's living her life and making a whole, she's making so much impact from it. I saw someone drop in the comment that, that she used to listen to her show and all that. Hey, I can see Lolo's fine face in the background. Let me bring her on. Hey, Lolo, fine face. You see, you're also wearing a braid wig. See now, mad.
I was trying to be very pretty for you.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Now, let me say this to everyone. Thank you, Dupe. Okay, everyone said they can hear me. Let me first of all say this. Please, I want you guys to help me say a big thank you to Lolo. Lolo is one person that she's a media personality. Yes, I'm a media personality, but I can't compare to Lolo. Lolo has been in media for like over 16 years. Me, I've just done 8 years, and man, it's like I want to hang my boots. It's not the terrain, but she's been able to hold on, and not only holding on, but be able to, carry so many people along. I've met Lolo only once. I went to her station, the new station she's in now, and that's when I met her. And the way we spoke was as if we've known forever. In fact, I didn't want to leave that day. We're just talking and gisting, and she's just very down to earth like that. People are saying thank you. I hope you can see the comments. Are you using your phone?
Yeah, I'm new to this platform, so I don't know how to see anything.
So this platform, you have to use this platform is the new platform, the Gengen platform to be on. Don't worry, I'll teach you later. So I don't say people are saying thank you. That's it. I'll be telling you what they are saying. Don't worry. So I went to I went to Lolo and all of that. And, she spoke to me like a sister, like a friend, like someone that, she's known me forever and all of that. And after that, of course, it's just social media. And when I was going to have this event, I just sent a message to her. She was like, Let me think about it. In my heart was because you know that Lolo is a celebrity now, you know now. You know, and the next thing, few days later, I was like, she's not interested. She just sent a message and said, hey sis, let's do this. I was shouting. My daughter was excited when she was like, I want Lolo to be here. Some people said, Nadaku. Yes, so and she's here. Now, the reason why I had to have Lolo on this platform was because when I met Lolo and I spoke to Lolo, you know, I was trying to get something on our station. Lolo used to be on Wazobia. Another thing I want to mention is when Lolo was going to leave Wazobia, she was on Wazobia FM for like 11 years. When she was leaving, I watched, you know, they did the streaming of that event. I mean, the day she was leaving, handing over, and people were weeping. Lolo, even Lolo, all her mascara had run down her face. People were weeping because she was leaving that station. Listeners had called in and were crying. Her mates, her colleagues were crying. You know, even me, that I did not even know, I started to cry and said, how can somebody be, you know, like, so it shows the kind of person she is. Because, I mean, I left a particular station for another station. They no cry for me, you know.
How do you know?
So, you know, so that just goes to show the kind of person she is. And then when I met Lolo, I played the single mom card, which is why I said I needed to have her on this summit. Now, it's no news that people are always like, single mom, single mom, single mom, and they've turned it into a kind of label, a kind of negative label. So, like I was saying, when Adenike Oyetunde, she was the one that came on before you, Lolo. When Adenike was saying, sometimes, you know, you want to dwell in that victim place because you are used to that name. So because when I say single mom, even me, I started to carry that single mom as a jacket of honor, as if, you know, label that negative honor, the negative. So when I met Lola and I said, I'm a single mom, Lola said, hey, please, I don't do labels, you know. And I was shocked because Lola is a single mom of 4 children. She's divorced. She has 4 children. And she said something that struck me. And since that day, it changed my orientation. She said, see, when you allow people label you, you allow them put you in a box. You can be whoever you want to be. That anybody, what is single mom? You know, so that's what she was like. Why should you see single mom as a label that you should not start carrying around as if, you know, there's something wrong with you, like a crutch and all of those things. So that's why I said I need to have this woman on this summit. She needs to be able to come and speak because, I mean, 4 children. I have only 2 children. I know how sometimes I'm just crying. Forget all this, my being boy. Sometimes I'm just tired. I'm just like, these 2 children. My son will say, Mommy, we need this one in school. My daughter too will say, Mom, and I'm like, God. Then I imagine her, 4 children. Lolo is the most energetic. People say I'm energetic. Lolo is she's doing Adaku, Jennifer Diaries. In case you don't know, she has a movie. She produced a movie. When Love Is Not Enough, right? Is that the title of the movie?
Yes.
She produced a movie. She's always speaking in different places. She's the general manager of Lasgidi FM 90.1. I mean, that's a new station that is already taking over the airwaves. I listen to it, and I don't like Pidgin, but I listen to it because of Lolo, you know. So she's someone that is always everywhere. She has this series she does against Sister in Kiro or something like that. You know, Lolo is always doing different things. She's a powerhouse. That's why I call her. She has not allowed any situation hold her down. So enough of me talking. Lolo is going to be speaking to us on rising above the stigma of what will people say. That what will people say has cost a lot of people so much. I see people dropping in the comment section. Please, anything that shouts out at you, you can put it up on social media with the hashtag LMT Summit 2020. It's scrolling on the screen. Anything you're putting out on social media, that's the list I ask you for. This event is free. So the only thing I ask you is please let people know on social media, put the hashtag LMT Summit 2020. Anything that anybody says, any of our speakers says that jumps out at you, you know, that you are feeling, that you're like, you know, that kind of thing. So please put it on social media with the hashtag LMT Summit 2020. All right, Lolo, over to you.
I'm very excited. It's always an honor whenever you're deemed fit to be on the platform. And I know that there has been amazing speakers that have been speaking from morning till now. I appreciate every single individual who has joined this platform. I'm particularly grateful to God that at this time, we're all seeking for how to get better, to do better, to be better individuals. That is one of the most wonderful gift you can give yourself as a person, to always strive to do better. People would say, oh, Lolo, you do this, you do that, you do this. But do you know that I always tell myself that I am my own competition? Even the Bible will say that
Wow.
if you compare yourself one to another, the Bible says that you are not wise. Do you know that you can be the only one that sets a target for yourself and you are beating your own target at every time? Do you know that as much as people say, Lolo, you've accomplished this and that, I still tell myself every day that there is more to do. And as long as you see yourself as somebody that has more to offer, more would keep coming. When Bimbo was talking about the things that I love to do, I did a musical last year, Alera the Alera the musical. It was one of the biggest things I've ever put my money into. A full-blown musical. I've always watched musical and I wanted to do it. But do you know, one of the biggest accomplishments I've had in my life, I always do it very scared. But
Mm.
I don't know, maybe I just trust God too much. I always throw myself in God's hand because I don't think that there's anything He cannot achieve as long as you put your mind to it. So when Bimbo was, she gave me the topic of what would people say, I was just laughing. The first thing I would tell everybody is that who was present in this world at your creation?
Yeah.
When your mother and your father conceived you, who was present? The only person that I know is probably God that made it happen. Every other person you met along the way on your journey accomplishing life. And as much as you love people, you must know that there are different roles that people are meant to play in your life. As long as you know that there are different roles that people are meant to play in your life, it will determine how you react to every kind of person that you contact in your journey through life. I call some people destiny helpers. They are those people that are around you to help you to accomplish the goal that you set before yourself. There are cheerleaders, those that are clapping, encouraging you. They might not necessarily be doing anything to support you, but you know that they are rooting for you with their mouth, with their thumbs. They are saying, Bimbo, you can do it. And there are people that are meant to criticize you, either positively or even negatively. To those that criticize you positively, you should consider them destiny helpers. Because anybody that impacts your life positively, that means the person wants you to do better. I always laugh when I see people that run away from criticism that is negative. Do you know that sometimes the people that you consider enemies or naysayers, they are to help you in your life's journey? There are people that have criticized me in my life, thinking that their negative comment is going to make me go under. They didn't know that God was using them as building blocks to help me to do better. As long as you know that there are myriads of people surrounding you every day, it will determine your reaction to what people say about you. I keep telling myself every day, I say, who are you giving the rein of your horse to? A person that is not sitting on a horse cannot control the horse. What they
Wow.
can do is
Wow.
spook the horse. But if you have control of your rein, even though the horse runs very fast, raises up its leg, if you maintain your balance and you hold on to that horse called life, you will not fall off. What makes people fall off is usually fear of what can happen. The people that you give so much concern to and you are worried about what would they say about you, the first question you should ask, what do these people contribute to my life? For you to be able to give them the power to say something that would affect your life. especially negatively. When I stroll on the platform of social media, I see it as world that are full of different kinds of people that are reacting to different kinds of stimulus. Some that come on your pages, they are depressed. Some are unhappy. Some are jealous. Some are envious. Some see you as mentors. Some see you as role models. Some just hate you for no reason. But you see, some of these things that I said now, you will find out that you have no control over what is happening in their own personal lives. So when they bring their negativity to your own space, it will be foolish of you to react to someone who has no right to speak into your life in any way. Every time I put up a picture, I see people who go and say, wow, Lola, this is the best I've ever seen you wear. And I would look at some other pictures and I will see this same person that gave this same comment. We see, Lolo, you have no sense of dressing. You are terrible. And 30 pictures after, the person is telling you, you are the best dressed person I have ever seen. So when you allow people that have their own personal issues that they are dealing with, there was a person that I engaged on social media. He saw the picture of somebody's children posted on their birthday. The person has twins. One of the twins is a bit overweight. And the person went under the picture and said, wow, see how your child looks like a trailer or something. He must eat too much. See the way he looks like a balloon or a monkey or something. You know, I did not engage the person. I went to the person's DM, I looked at the person's pictures, and I saw the person's children. And I went to his DM and I said to him, that how would you feel if somebody tells you how your children really looks to them? You go on social media, you talk such negativity about somebody's child. Do you know that that thing you said can affect the mental space of not just the parent? How about if the child was reading your comments? By the time I finished, do you know this guy said he didn't mean it like that? He was just thinking because they are celebrity, you can say anything on their page. He was just looking for relevance. And I told him that in your quest to seek relevance, you can hurt somebody fundamentally that you cannot repair. Do you know this young man went on to delete his comments and apologize? So when people tell me what would people say, as long as you are living life by the thermometer of other people's reaction to you, you are not going to achieve much. Because I can tell you, if you pick 10 people, 10 of them cannot like what you're doing the same way. So quit playing for people. It's like you want to be a perpetual actor. Don't you know that even we actors, when they say act, action, but there is a time that they say cut. If you keep playing for people in their individual movies, when are you going to hear cut?
That's your one.
And as long as you keep doing that, they can keep changing your roles as they like. People will tell me, they'll come under your page and say something like, you are so stingy. You don't give people, you don't do giveaway. You don't help people. And I would laugh because I don't need to tell this person that I started my NGO when I was in NYSC. It's called Caring Sisters Ministry. By the grace of God, we have celebrated 20 years of existence. I am not even I'm the founding president, but I'm not even the current president. For you to see how the ministry has grown beyond me. Wow. So should I begin to explain to this ignorant person that I have been doing philanthropy before I became Law No. 1? You see why you don't need to play to people's gallery. People would always have an opinion of you, but what do you say about yourself? I posted a picture. I was in the swimming pool, and somebody asked me, Lolo, is that your nyash? I just laughed, because if I commented, you are not even encouraging me that I'm trying to keep fit. When you are in the pool, what do you wear to swim? I don't understand how. I've never seen anybody swim with Urabuba for the sake of modesty. The lighter your swimwear, the easier it is for you to move in water. But if I keep explaining to this ignorant person, how many people can I correct their foolishness? And you must know, you are not called to everybody.
Sure.
If you think you are called to everybody, then Jesus would have saved every single person. So when I see people trying to conform or change their lives because of what people perceive them to be, I find it very ridiculous. People will come on my page and say, oh, is this how a mother of children should dress? And I would laugh. I say, because I'm divorced and I have kids, does that make me less sexy or less beautiful than any other person? So, but as long as you know that you're not called, I tell some people that you don't have to like me. There are other people that you can like that don't look like me, which is perfectly fine. As controversial as Bobrisky is, there are people that genuinely like him. It doesn't matter whether you don't. He's still living his life on his own terms. That's why I love this series that our dear sister Bimbo said, living your own truth is one of the most beautiful things you can do for your own self. If you can't tell the truth to yourself, then you're a foolish person perpetually. I tell myself the hardest truths. Because if you tell yourself the truth before people say it, you already know that you are working on your maybe shortcomings. If somebody says I'm fat, it's not news to me. If you are conversant with me before and after, you will know that I'm making good lifestyle changes, which I've been doing for years. That is making me better, more beautiful, more shapelier. But because we are all work in progress till we die, maybe the time the person is meeting me, he hasn't even seen my journey from the beginning. That is why the person is saying what he's saying now. And that is why you don't need to answer everybody. The people that get hurt or that hurt us, they need your permission to hurt you. When I see Bimbo's video dancing every day, and somebody will tell you that, what kind of dance are you dancing? And I will look at the person and ask that, who created dance? What made salsa salsa? What made Fuji dance Fuji dance? This is dance as defined by Bimbo, and it's good enough for her. Whether my head jiggles, or my boobs jiggle, or my bum jiggles, look at all of us that abuse other people dancing. Do you know I still admire ladies that can twerk on the floor? I wish it was a skill I had. And yet, judges will go on their pages to say, you are indecent. Do you know how much I love Cora Obidi? She's a dancer, for God's sake. And she's living life according to her own truths. If you don't like a lady that is scantily dressed, you don't have to follow her. And this same person that you judge so harshly, she's mothering her child before us. She's keeping her home. And those accusers neither have children, nor husband, nor boyfriend. And yet they speak negatively about somebody that has all that. Don't you see that is stupidity? If every time people judge you negatively, you change, but what do you think you and I will be? Because the standard of a perfect woman is always changing.
Wow.
There was some year, if you look at the Picasso's, Da Vinci's painting, you will see in those times they love voluptuous women. Women that had tires on their side, that had rolls of fat, that had fat arms, Christian mother. Then the standard of beauty changed. He entered Lepa, excessively bony, structured women. After some time, they said if you have bigger hips, you are better. After some times, they said bigger boobs are better. But did God make us like balloon? Can you inflate and deflate yourself at will? You can't. Look at that, as dark as I am. My daughter is my split image. One of her birthday pictures, somebody went and wrote under a picture that I post, "You look so black like a Ghana girl, like burnt skinny cup." And they are the same people that would accuse you if you started to bleach your skin. So when you ask me that question, what would people say? I expect them to say what they say. That's my answer. Every human being has a right to say what they want to say. It doesn't mean that their opinion matter or affects me. They are just saying what they want to say. The most important thing is, what do I say about myself? Bimbo, I consider myself so beautiful. In fact, I always think I'm so fine that when I look in the mirror, I'll do like this. Why are you so fine? That is me engaging my own mirror. Why are you not doing the same? Who am I to tell you that you are not fine or that you are fine? What you consider beautiful is ugly to another person.
Word.
It was after my divorce I knew that I met men that like only voluptuous women. I didn't know that there were distinctions, or that there were people that liked women that looked like me. Do you know, from the day I knew that, I've never lactose cow. It's me that will be saying I don't want to, or I want to. But these are the same things that I've met people that have told me that because of how they look, they don't go out, they don't relate with people. And I'm like, okay, if you hate yourself being this way, I love Axe Dams. This one of her sayings. She says, you are not a tree. You can change your location. If you hate your look so much, become Lekpasho's boss. Change from that to what you want to be.
She's even speaking today.
So you don't need to disturb yourself or feel inadequate. If you thoroughly hate yourself, especially when it comes to weight issues, change it. People have transformed from very obese to healthy. You can make the same decision. Instead of you sitting in your house, allowing what you think is bad. But do you know, even as fat as you think you are, there are still people that like you that. Sorry, flipped off my stand. You know, so I keep telling everyone. Yeah, I keep telling everyone that it's impossible to please everybody. Just make sure that whatever you are doing, you are taking decisions that elevate your life and not the standard that other people set for you. Do you know that we can all do things at different levels, no matter how hard you try? There are people that always, I think I have to hold it because it's just falling off. You know,
Oh,
there are people
sorry.
that, no, it's all right. You know, there are people that would always be better than you, no matter what you do.
Yes. Whoosh.
There are
Yes.
people that will always be more brilliant than you. There are people that will always be more intelligent than you. But do you know that there are many people that you are more brilliant than, that you are more intelligent than, that you are more focused than too? It's because you are judging yourself by another person's standard. That's why you think that you are inadequate or your race is not adequate for you. So please, as many times as people like, let them say what they like. Do you know sometimes it's even therapeutic when people are able to say what they like? But because your mental health, your mental capacity is in a very settled state, you can even be a blessing to those people that speak negatively. There are sometimes people will tell me, "Oh, Lala, is this a dress?" I'll say, "Thank you very much." One man came on my timeline one day, said, "Lolo, your makeup is so terrible. You should sack your makeup artist." I now
Hey.
went to the lady's page. She said she's a makeup artist. I now went to her page to look at her pictures. Bimbo, even for a theater production, I doubt if I can engage her for a job. So for
Wow.
you to see that she's not speaking the truth, she's just speaking bitterness.
Hmm.
Probably she has looked at my face and she doesn't have the skill to be able to do that. It made her bitter. So she
Hmm.
said my brows are terrible. Brows that she cannot draw. Imagine if I went from that comment into
To
my
depression.
room and I started crying. Do you know somebody had told me before that because I'm divorced, my children will not grow up wholesomely? He said, because I have offended God by
Well,
divorcing and the things I've seen in my life. That is one. One even told me that she cannot pray for a second chance for me because she doesn't believe that God would, that as long as I've offended God in that way, then that is how my life will continue to be because it is my choice.
hey.
And I'll put out that
Hmm.
scripture for the person that
Hmm.
the Bible says, "My children will be taught of the Lord, and
Hmm.
great be my peace." Simple. Even me that is taking care of these children, I'm not the one that has the capacity to make their lives
I'm
what it should be. It is God. We are all caretakers of our
Yeah.
children. None of us own them. I know many people that grew up in perfect homes with father and mother present, and yet they still turned out terribly.
Of
I've
course.
seen
Of
many
course.
single women raise giants, raise fantastic children that will put some children that were raised in both parents' homes to shame.
Shame.
So I keep telling myself that those things don't matter. That is the person's opinion. It's been how many years? My children are thriving. I'm growing. I'm learning every day.
Hmm.
So that means what they said. My daughter, thankfully to God's glory, she's the social prefect of her school right now.
Yeah.
So if I'm not doing something right, then maybe the person needs to teach me something I don't know. People would always say what they want to say. We are the ones that must guard our mental spaces and
Hmm.
not allow negativity to affect you. As long as you know, and another thing we must know is that every single person that is created by God, we are all work in progress. Nobody is totally complete.
Yes.
No matter who you meet, no matter how rich you think they will still tell you that they have aspirations. They
Hmm.
have things that they want to achieve. even the Dangotes and the Obamas and the Michelles of this world, the Oprahs, there are still things that they wish they can do, they want to do.
Yes, so.
So you must know that. So that is why you should not, be too hard on yourself when people speak negativity at you. Even that person that is talking is still a work in progress.
Mm.
I will never forget a colleague of mine who I love so much. When we work together, she dislikes me for reasons that I don't even know, because she was someone I admired. She disliked me so much that a magazine came to interview some women achievers in media, and she asked who was to be interviewed. And when my name was mentioned, she declined the interview,
Ah,
that we are not
wow.
on the same level.
Wow.
I would go home, I would cry, I would pray that, Lord, do you know, Bimbo, many years after this occurrence, this amazing woman would call me up from the blues and apologize
Wow.
for all the things she did at those times.
Wow.
She told me that she's a mother now. She understands now. She's married now. She understands better now. That day that she told me, because I have a dysfunctional family, that's why she said something terrible. But you see, it took years.
Hmm.
But when she acted based on her understanding at that time.
That time.
Years after, we are now cordial, happy to engage one another, call each other when we need help from one another. That was somebody that started out as somebody that didn't like me. 6, 7 years after, we are buddies now. So what they say about you don't matter, because that might be the level of their understanding at that time.
Hmm.
So imagine you going to a psychiatric hospital and arguing with a person that is maybe has manic psychosis, that sees people that are not there. And every time you enter, he keeps calling you maybe Abeni, Abeni. No matter how you try to convince the person, in his psychosis, he probably see you as an Abeni.
A penny.
You can't change it. Many people walking the streets of the world today, many of them are not even mentally all right. Not in a negative way. Maybe they are just going through things that is tasking them mentally.
True.
That is why you should forgive their actions sometimes and don't allow it to affect you. Because every time it affects you, you are the one losing. Do you know people that say negative things to you? They might have forgotten that they called Bimbo a pig. They will go home happy, going on to live their lives. And you that thing was said to, you will spend your time. And the person that said it has already gone ahead to move out of that even negative space. Some of them are even ask God for mercy, and God forgives them. And the nuggets of negativity they dropped, you are allowing it to affect you. You see why it's so unnecessary to dwell sometimes on what people say about you. When people talk about me, I take the ones that I think is constructive. I leave the rest that is inconsequential to me. And that's how I keep getting better. Those that speak negatively about other people, you will keep seeing that they don't change. Their lives don't improve. You are going on to achieve leaps and bounds. They are still where their
Yes, so.
mental space keeps them. Some people don't achieve, not because God didn't make them achievers, but because they live in negativity and bitterness and envy. Their lives don't grow. As far as I'm concerned, every day, even when I'm wrong, there's a dress I wore one time. Yes, everybody saw that this is a step out of my character. I just wanted to try something out. And I probably will not wear a dress like that again. Not because of what people said. Even I wasn't really into it. That is the reason. I wanted to wear an alter neck at all costs because it was something I admire in other women. Maybe it's not built for my body type. But until I tried it and I saw that it doesn't work, I don't need anybody to tell it to me. I know. So I'm no longer in that space. If you like, look at the picture, call it up 30 years from now. I've left that. Even in Hollywood, somebody that made the worst dress list in maybe, let's say, in Grammys can be the best dress.
Not be the best
In
dressed.
another
Yes.
award. So why stay there? And God has already given us the gift of days. That means anything can change. You can meet me yesterday and I was something. By the time you meet me today, I'm already another thing. So you are still foolish to be related to somebody based on the past knowledge when the person has already changed and moved on to other things. I think that's good enough. I don't know if you have time for question and answer. We have 5 minutes to my roundup
We have
time.
time. We have time. Oh, so no, you even have 10 minutes. We didn't start on your right time. So we
Oh,
still have
okay.
10 minutes with
Okay.
you. Where are you running to now?
No,
See
it's
people.
fine.
Mama, see, I wish
No,
you
I'm
could see the
watching my
comments. So
time.
a lot of people,
I'm watching my time. I'm just trying to be
you're very
consensual. So
time
call my
conscious. Yeah, I
attention
appreciate it.
when, yeah. You
I
see,
appreciate it. So
these
many
are the
comments are
things.
going on. Guys, please drop comments. A lot of people are loving it.
Wow. All right.
I know you can see. Hold on, Lola. Hold on. Hold on. What happened, Lola? You went off. She has to come back on. I don't know what happened. She'll come back on. But guys, please drop your comments in the comment section. Please drop your comments in the comment section. Drop your comments. She's still coming back on. I don't know what. Maybe she pressed something on her phone. You know, she has been saying that she's not used to this platform. So please drop your comments. She will come back. I'll put her back up. Let me quickly send a message to her. Okay, she's back. I didn't even need to send a message. She's back.
Sorry.
What happened? We have to press something.
I'm telling you,
All right.
I'm just fiddling with it. So I keep telling everyone that every woman, please, the world is hard as it is. This is not the time for you to, channel negativity to another person. Even if you think what they're doing is wrong, there are always loving ways to correct them. Even if you don't like the way she dresses, even if you think her makeup is wrong, even if you think her choice of hair is bad, if you can gift her a hair, gift her. Maybe she doesn't have. That is what makes her wear that one she wears. You understand? Maybe she didn't know that her body type doesn't suit this dress. Why don't you send her a gift of a dress that maybe when she wears it and sees the fitting, she'll be like, hey, this is even nicer than those types of clothes I wore. Maybe I should ask this person where they buy things. Maybe they can help me change my wardrobe. But if you come from a place of bitterness and envy and, I call it acidic criticism, you are not doing somebody better. So people have been the cause of people's suicide.
Yes.
Some people are the cause of people's depression. That a poor woman is using antidepressants today because somebody told her that she's not fine, that she looks like a monkey.
Jeez.
If she looks like a monkey, but that monkey was created by God, and that person that you think looks like a monkey, somebody likes that monkey that way. What even gave us the standard of beauty? They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I tell it to you. So that means beauty is determined by you. I like Bimbo's small mouth. So people might like people with more lips. Look at us Africans. Our lips are thick and full. Bimbo, is it not these thick and full lips Oyimbos are going to put Botox in their lips to
Botox now,
achieve?
oh, as in, hey,
They
God.
want thicker, fuller lips that comes to us Africans naturally. And you, they becoming you for more lips, and you have been depressed. Do you know how many years of my life I used to think that my breast was a disadvantage for me?
Wow.
I never saw myself as a sex object. I never even felt desirable. I used to think people looked at me with, like, they are sorry for me that, how can somebody have this kind of plenty breast?
Hey, God.
Eh. So all my behavior, my dressing, my disposition was to hide what I thought was a flaw. Not knowing that it's part of how God made me beautiful. Some people are going to do surgeries to have bigger cups. And we,
Yeah.
some of us have it naturally. The bum that you hate. So women are looking for how to take fat from their thighs to put in their bum bum. And you that you are naturally curvaceous, you are complaining. You see how human beings are insatiable? No matter what you do, they will always think that there is more you could have done.
Yeah.
But I keep telling people that, okay, even if you think I made a mistake, I can do better next time. If everybody was judged and killed for our wrongdoing, who will be alive?
Somebody.
Have you not made a wrong? Have you never made a mistake in your life that you regret? I've made many. And every time, every opportunity I get, I will
Of
keep
course.
doing better to correct what I did in the past. Who would have thought that I would be single today? Imagine if I judged another woman that is because of your bad behavior, you don't have a husband. Fast forward it. In my family, I'm the only divorced person among my sisters. So there are many things that happen to us that none of us planned for. But the most important is to own your mistakes. Own it.
Yeah.
And do better. Now I don't need anybody to tell me how I look. I look at myself every day and I tell myself, babe, I'm telling you, I don't think anybody can be finer than you at this time.
Yes, so
It doesn't matter whether you share my opinion or not. I believe that. That is all that matters to me. And that is what should matter to everyone that is listening to this teaching this afternoon. You are perfect the way you are. What opinion they have of you doesn't matter. Everybody on this earth, there are people that have diverse opinions about them. Even Jesus that we Christians believe, people judged him for sitting with tax collectors.
yes,
They judged him when the woman broke the alabaster box on his feet. They judged him. How can you judge somebody because somebody decided to pour perfume on the person? For you to see that humans are insatiable. So you will do yourself good to not allow negativity in your space. Take it in your stride and keep moving.
Yeah.
Keep moving. As long as there is life, there is room to do better. There is room to change. There is room to get better. That is what I keep telling myself. So that doesn't, everything I do in my life is to keep doing better than I did yesterday. The radio station I'm building, I'm doing everything in my power with God's help to put it and make it prominent. And I can see it growing. Because life is in stages. Nobody can see me now and say, Lola, why does everybody celebrate you? I had a time that nobody knew me.
Wow.
So you might be at that beginning of your journey. You don't even know 20 years from now. Maybe you'll be the most celebrated female in the world. Give yourself a chance to grow. Give yourself a chance to be all that you can be. This is not the best you can do. There is always better. I'm telling you, everything I've achieved in my life, I strive to do better than my yesterday. And when I see results, when I see, and let me tell you, it doesn't mean that I don't cry. It doesn't mean that I don't get tired. It doesn't mean I don't get depressed. But what you must know is that you are a human being too. If I slap Bimbo's face, she'll feel pain because she's human. But if I slap a mannequin, he might not feel any pain because he doesn't have flesh and blood flowing inside him. Don't allow the actions of people make you make the wrong actions that can put your life in disarray. Many people are living, lives that are not fulfilling right now because they allow the things that people say to them affect them. It is God that raises our children. It is God that owns our life. The fact that you are even alive and well is because God decides to give it to you. Those that woke up today and they are sick, I keep telling people, they didn't do anything. God is not punishing them.
Yeah.
Life is happening. Life happens to all of us. And until we die, Bimbo, life will keep happening. If you look at that machine that they use to measure our heart rate, if you are living, it goes up and down, up and down. But when somebody has died, it is a single line. So that means the ups and downs of your life is part of life. It's only a dead person that the life is on a straight line. There is no more activity. As long as there is activity, your life will keep going up and down, highs and lows, joys and sadness. That is why the book of Ecclesiastes is so instrumental. It says there is time for everything under the earth. Time to sow, time to reap, time to die, time to give birth. So as long as you know, cut yourself some slack. Please don't be too hard on yourself. Life is happening to you. It's not because God hates you, or because you were born to poor parents, or because nobody helps me. I left all those thoughts behind years ago. Anybody that is called to be a blessing will be.
Yeah.
And those that are not called to be, don't force it. Don't force it. Because many people have forced people to bless them, and that is the Waterloo of their life. So people have allowed people bless them, and they have become gods in your life that you have to worship because of the things they did for you. If you had allowed God to do it, that person would not have taken the glory.
Yes,
so don't do God's work for him. Allow God to, orchestrate your life the way it should go. Let it flow. Allow the pains. Allow pain is part of it. Every time I jog or I do sit up and I'm in pain, it's part of your muscle telling you I don't want, but you are telling that muscle to behave. So please do not let anybody limit you or the negativity that comes from their mouth to affect how you see yourself. If I allow that, I won't be the Lolo that all of you are celebrating today. This same woman, I've been rejected on many places. I've gone to look for a job, and they told me that I'm too fat and black to work for them. They've told me that I don't speak enough English. Somebody had told me I don't cut it. And they would employ somebody that doesn't even have my talent. But this is me today. You see all those things is part of the raw material that God used to make me who I am. My prowess on radio, it didn't come without challenges.
Of course.
They've written my name in the newspaper before that I mispronounced a name, Roger Federer. I think I called it Federera, and somebody wrote it in a national newspaper. And I'm still here. The same person that they said, wow, you're not fit for our station or something. I'm managing a station now.
Wow. Wow.
There are so many things people have said. Oh, this will not happen for you. It has happened for me. You will never travel out of this country. I've traveled.
You even don't show in London.
Oh, yes. If they say your children will never grow up, the grace of God is on their lives. I have 4 children my own, and I have 1 more adopted. And that is minus the amount of children that are mentoring worldwide. I have children all over that will come and tell me, Mommy, this is how I passed in my WAEC. I have a young boy on Instagram. He's my Instagram son. When he does exam, he will tell me. How he's doing at home, he will tell me. He will ask for my opinion. One of my sons graduated 2 years ago. He's working in Abeokuta. There's one yellow address I wore on Instagram. I posted the picture. He bought it for me, sent it to Lagos. Those are people that God has given me the opportunity to mentor over the years. So, who are you to tell me I have not achieved? Who are you to say that I have not achieved? You need to harness your spirit. I am a joyful person, and I always tell people that joy is free. You need to fight for your joy. Don't let anybody take it from you. Every time people say my stomach is big, I look at them, I said, I've had 4 children. I've lost a lot of weight. So my belly is not just big. It's loose skin right now. Because I've lost weight, it has, what do you expect my body to be?
Down.
Exactly. If you've never had a baby, it's possible that your stomach is flat. But we that have had children, there is a before and after. So why would you let them shame you for something that is a blessing? So people even want their stomach to have stretch marks just to have 1 child. I know somebody that told me that she doesn't mind being pregnant in the afternoon, in the morning, and have a miscarriage at night, so that they can write it in her history that she has been pregnant before.
Father.
And you are there condemning your body because childbirth changed you. My sister, it's not that deep. Oh. If everybody that you see on social media should show you the hardship that is going on under their clothes,
as in,
you appreciate that your belly. I have just someone that I will not allow you, project your negativity to me. I don't allow it. I take my mistakes, I own it. I like short dresses. Kill yourself. I have one picture I took with body top. I'm still going to post on a very auspicious day. Because it took me a long time to like this body. And I love it so much now that you are not the one to tell me what is good or bad. If you don't like it, move to another space. If my international bra brand comes to Nigeria and they are looking for models, and they call me and they pay me plenty money, my sister, I will influence bra pant and bra. So be ready to die if that will kill someone. But we buy bras and we see it on models, and because of that we buy it. What's wrong if Bimbo is the one man? What's wrong if you are the one that is the multi-million-dollar model signed to that luxury company?
I receive
so
it.
it's good for them, but bad for you. When Oyibo people model it, oh, it's beautiful.
Nice.
When
I'm
they put
telling
it on me,
you.
it's ugly. My brother and sister, be ready to die.
Mm.
Because I will not allow you limit me. The only
Oh,
person I'm
God.
accountable to is God Almighty. And if God is not killing us, how do you buy a bra if you have not seen what it looks like?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when I see people talk, I'll just be laughing that if you are to model lingerie, will you do it under a rambuba?
Wrong.
How would you do that? Does that make you indecent? No. There are maternity bras that women need to see.
Yeah.
If they see it under your clothes, how will you buy it? You see how people are so hypocritical. You find out that the people that judge you so harshly, they are doing worse than they think you're doing. They
Mm.
judge you, but they love what you do. They admire it. Nobody should tell me about body piercing because I love body piercing personally. The only reason why I've not pierced my features is because I wish I had done it before my children were born. If I pierce my body now, it might confuse them. That is the only reason why I don't have
Yeah.
additional
True.
piercing, my sister. No other reason. So if God is to judge me mentally or my heart, I have piercings. Shall you see the difference between hypocrisy? I might not have tattoo because I feel I'm too old or I don't want. It doesn't mean the person that has it is bad.
Yeah.
So please quit criticizing other people. Live your own truth, according to Bimbo. As long as you live in your truth, you will find out. Many people will judge you. How can you come out and talk about your divorce? How will you learn to be better? How will you tell other people not to do the same mistakes we did?
Exactly.
When I married, I was a Coco Christian girl. I was 27 when I married my ex-husband. He was the first man I lied with. That means he disvirgined me himself. And at that time, people would not even believe that I was. And I was. But did that still stop the marriage from crashing? No. The reason why we married each other probably foundationally was wrong.
Yeah.
And when the foundation is bad, there's nothing you can build on it that will stand.
Yeah.
I tell people that I don't encourage people to be single. Ask Bimbo and I, it's difficult to be a single mother.
It's difficult to.
Very challenging. I don't like being single. I'm telling you, when the replacement cartridge comes, I'm totally snatching it and becoming a missus again.
By God's grace.
Whether it happens or not is besides the point for me. The most important is I'm living my life daily, expecting the God that gives people multiple chances. I see people that have gone on to have beautiful marriage in their second marriages.
Oh, yeah.
So I've seen people that have 4 or 5 children, they still married. People still like them. So what makes you think it will not happen for me or for Bimbo or for anyone that wants it? Except it's something you do not want or crave or desire. But as long as you want it, there are many things God can do. God even likes doing things that make people say,
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
wow. I always tell people that when I remarry, that will be the experience of a lot of people.
Yeah, so
because I want God to give me a wow type.
That His
You
grace
know, not
will.
that one that they say we know. No. You know that one that you say,
oh loud gone.
oh loud budget. This can only be God, oh. Hello, it can be only God.
Oh my God, Lolo, thank you.
Welcome.
Wow. See, if you see the comments, I've been trying to put some up and off and changing it. Wow, and this session blessed me. Oh, thank you, Lolo. So many people are saying thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
I
you
want to
for
say
having me.
a special thank you. In fact, it's God that will thank you for me. I'm sending God to. I already sent God to you because all my speakers, I prayed for everyone specially. Thank you so much for choosing to come on this platform. Thank you so much for making it so easy for me. And thank you so much for sharing of yourself, for being vulnerable. You guys, Lolo was vulnerable. She laid it down. But guess what? In that vulnerability, her strength came through. And I know that so many people are blessed. I appreciate you so much, sis. Her handle is official Lolo1, right? On
Yes.
Instagram. So please make sure you follow her. Is there anything you're doing now that you want people to, maybe
They should just
buy?
tune to my radio station, Las Gidi FM 90.1. Once
And I
they do
don't hear
that for me, I'm
help
fine.
us speak pidgin before you go. Pidgin before
I
you go.
beg
One
you, make
pidgin.
una tune into my radio station, no. Now my workshop be that, oh. Biko, engage us, please. Las Gidi
Thank you
FM
so much.
90.1.
So there you heard it, Las Video FM. She's always on in the morning. On what time, Lolo, in the morning?
I'm on from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m.
So you've heard it, guys. 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Lolo is on Las Gidi FM 90.1, 90.1. Thank you so much, Lolo. I appreciate you. God bless you. Keep being you, keep impacting lives, and keep adding value. Thank you. Love you. Ah, wow, 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 yay. Man, how has it been, guys? I can see your comments. I'm super duper elated because this is the reason why I'm doing Living My Truth Virtual Summit, to be able to let you guys know that, so many people are going through so many things. Forget all this packaging, all this. There's so much that is going on beyond the scenes, behind the scenes. Who would have thought that Lolo would have all of those things that she mentioned? And I'm sure there's still so much more that she couldn't even say here. She kept it, yes. Toya Akilade, thank you. Yeah, she kept it real. And that is one thing that, Living My Truth is aimed at, helping people keep it real. If you know me, you know me. That is me. That's my life mantra. I keep it real. In fact, I don't know how realer than this I can be. I always say it as it is. And I had a time in my life where I was always hiding and pretending to be what I was not, or I'm not. Like this is me. I don't have any airs. I don't have any pretense. You heard what she said. Be you. The world will catch up with who you are. Okay? Who set that standard or something she said? What they say about you doesn't matter, but because it's based on the knowledge, on their own knowledge, the level of their knowledge at that time. I wrote so many things down. We've had 3 speakers. I think I've written like 4 pages. I hope you guys have been taking down notes as well, because it's not just to listen, but about after listening, go back, check, read, and let it minister to you. Let it, be something that would be a kind of leverage to help you. Be a survival guide of sorts. Be something that will just help you towards, this journey called life. She said something, and that one stood out for me in her session where she spoke about the heartbeat. If you look at the heartbeat, if you watch movies, you see it. It's always going up, down, up, down. It's only when you are there that is a straight line. So that means life, you will have up sessions, you have down moments, you have, but guess what? You have to keep moving. Keep moving. If I had stopped, even this living, if I had stopped when the whole internet was somehow, if I had stopped, would you have been able to gain this value? No. But one thing I've determined in my life is never to allow anything stop me, no matter what. So 3 speakers have spoken. We kicked it off with Emeka Nobis, which was at 1:15 p.m. Then we had Adenike Oyetunde's session at 2, and we've just finished Lolo's amazing session. I still have 3 more speakers for the day. I myself will be speaking, but the 3 speakers I have are phenomenal. The first half, all of it have been saying, nice one, amazing. The second half of this session, I don't know what people will say. I have, we're going to be going on a break. We have a 4 to 5 o'clock break so that you can relax, do some things, eat if you want to, do whatever you want to. Adeola, we'll talk about the replay later. Let me talk to my people first. Do whatever you want to do. 5 o'clock. In fact, don't let me say 5 because I know you people, Nigerian people, you like African time. 4:45 or 4:50. Okay, please make sure you come back here. The next session is going to be kicking off by 5 o'clock on the dot. And guess what? That person is a single daddy. a single dad. You know, it's always single mom, single mom, single mom. I'm having a single dad because, like all of the speakers that I'm bringing on, I'm trying to put a little bit of balance so that it's not just, that's why I didn't only bring women. So I don't think it's only women, men who go through issues. So I'm going to be having Nathaniel Adegoke. He's a single dad of 2. The amazing story about Nathaniel is he's the one that is actually raising up his children by himself. Yes, he has custody of his children, not even his wife. He has custody. So he's the one raising his own children. So you are late, Olade, you're just coming. Don't worry, you can join the 5 o'clock session. So Nathaniel is going to be talking to us on how to succeed despite heartbreak, pain, and loneliness. You know how we always think it's only women that have all those things, that feel the heartbreak or feel the pain or feel lonely. Nathaniel is going to come to talk to us about us. He's the single dad. Then I'm going to be having Abiola Shegun Williams. Hey, Mrs. Williams can speak English for Africa. Eh? So please, that one is the Oyinbo of the whole session. So when she's speaking, just open your ears, okay? So I'm going to be having Mrs. Abiola Shegun Williams. She'll be speaking on inspiring positive change with your truth. All right? Then I have Lepashios Boss. You guys know I'm crazy. And those that don't, I can be like this. Lepashios Boss is also going to be coming up. She'll be talking to us about overcoming emotional eating and depression. Someone like me, I'm an emotional eater, but God is curing my life. So I need to listen to that session. You know how you're worried and then you're just eating everything, even when you know it's not good for you. And then depression will set, I'm getting fat again. She'll come to speak to us from a place of experience. For those that don't know, Lepashios Boss used to weigh, I can't remember the number of kg, but she lost over 70 kg. And now she's fine. If you knew her before, she's this comedian. She was so huge. She was obese, but she was able to, lose weight and not lose her life in the process because she had suicidal thoughts. She was depressed. Don't let me let the cat out of the bag. Let me allow people go and rest. You guys have been amazing. You've been fantastic. See, don't be selfish. Don't keep this to yourself. Share the link. My YouTube channel link, share it. Facebook is just an extra. I decided to add Facebook Live. I wasn't meant to do Facebook Live, but I just realized a lot of people were sending messages at the tail end. Hey, I want to register. So I just, okay, let me put it on Facebook Live, okay? And there's going to be a replay. Yes, there's going to be a replay of all this. But all of those that were on this session, after this session, you will not have access to the replay because I'm going to choke padlock on it. All right. So please make sure you come back by 5 o'clock, 4:55. No, 4:50. 4:50. Make sure you come back 5 o'clock. Nathaniel is going to be kicking off the second session, and then we'll take it from there. Thank you so much. It's been fantastic having you guys join me this afternoon. I'm excited. Thank you. 5 o'clock. 4:55. Session is starting off by 5. Nathaniel always behaves like Oyinbo guy, so it keeps the time. 5 o'clock, the show will start. So make sure you're here before 5, all right? Just be palming like this, be waiting. Okay, class prefect, Queenette is the class prefect. 4:50. 4:50. Everybody should gather back here 4:50. So that means you have like 38 minutes to do whatever you have to do. All right. So till 4:50. Bye. Stay safe. See you guys in a bit.